Warning: the video for all intents and purposes is made for entertainment purposes only.
Hey guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel. So this is the final video of our IPL Auction Review 2025, and in this video we're going to discuss the final three teams of the IPL, which is RR, Gujarat Titans, and Ajit's favorite and beloved franchise, Royal Challengers Bangalore. So, with that being said, without further ado, I would like to introduce my guests as usual, Ajit, Manav, and Pranav. Welcome here for the final video. With that being said, we'll start with the first team, which is Rajasthan Royals. So, Rajasthan Royals squad, already we all know that they made a couple of retentions with captain Sanju Samson, Shimran Hetmeyer, Dhruv Jurel, Yashasvi Jaiswal, Riyan Parag, and and these are the retentions they have made, and they made
Even
one
Sandeep
more
Sharma.
retention. Sandeep Sharma they have made. As a uncapped player. So if you're looking at the squad, they have made some couple of additions. Obviously, Jaiswal retain, Hetmar retain. They have bought back Shivam Dubey and the 13-year-old sensation Vaibhav Suryavanshi. It's a beautiful story. 13-year-old has been bought for around a crore and a half or something like that, and which is begs to a question that what you guys are doing when you're 13 years old, guys? It's a serious question.
We were
நம்ம
in.
நாலு பேரும் செட்டிநாடு வித்யாசம்ல குப்பை கொட்டிக்கிட்டு இருந்தோம் அவ்வளவுதான். இதுக்கு மேல சொல்ல தேவையில்ல.
Simple as that.
True.
We were in 8th standard.
Yes, I know. We are all in 8th standard now. We're doing nothing in our lives, just studying the school and just pass our time. But Sanju Samson, as usual. So anyway, they have replaced it. So already we have discussed the batsman with Vaibhav Suryavanshi. Then going behind it, I clearly see that they went with a lot of bowling. And what do you think is the strategy going forward? What do you think is the squad at general, Pranav?
Yeah, no, that's a very good question, actually. I think RR in general itself has always built a squad that has supported and has valued an Indian core or throughout its history. And I think this is no different as well. And also, the return of Rahul Dravid to RR as coach and then his fellow, player Vikram Rathod also, becoming the batting coach of RR. There's been a lot of changes as well to the support staff. The general team is fine. The general, the top one is, I think if, I'm not sure whether if Kumar Sangakkara is still there, but I think if he is, then yeah, I should. He might. Okay,
he's there. By the way, he's there as the director of cricket, but he's not going to get involved within the.
He's not the coach. He's not the coach. That's what I meant to say. He's not the coach.
He's not the coach. He's going to take part in the overall director in other franchises as well. So he's taking the.
No, that's fine. No, that's fine. But I'm saying
even the one in South Africa, Paul Royals also, I think, is the director.
Yeah, he's the director of cricket. Yeah. No, that's fine. That isn't the issue, but there would definitely be an overall strategy, right? What they would have emphasized. So they are actually literally continuing their strategy. I think the return of Rahul Dravid is a good thing for RR as well because he would definitely emphasize quality over a bit of quality over quantity kind of approach. But at the same time, he would, he is a coach who values every player, who has a very, very good rapport. And I feel that his wisdom, his insights on what, he has had, with coaching with the Indian cricket team as well, that the team that has just literally won the T20 World Cup just recently. So I think that would be very, very useful for the current crop of players within the RR team. I believe that. And I think I'm not surprised by the squad as well, looking at their overall strategies. Going with overseas fast bowlers has always proven massive success for them over the years. And I think with the fact that they've been consistently coming into the playoffs, only has missed maybe a last year or so, maybe just a couple of times in recent years, their strategies have always worked. And I don't think I would want to look too deep into that, that they have an Indian core of batters and then an overseas core of fast bowlers. I think every team has its own style and strategy as well. And I think this is something that has worked for them. So I'm not going to see too much, detail into why RR is always like this and so on. But moving on to the squad, their retentions is as usual, kind of on expected lines. It was just unfortunate that they could not do anything to, anything much to retain Ashwin and Chahal, the new spin twins, because they were devastating for RR. They perhaps give RR one of the best, periods across. And I think, with how Ashwin has been reacting, Chahal has been reacting, to having not been able to be retained by RR, I think it just shows how the franchisee itself works, how the think tank itself works. And I believe that, with return of established players and former players of RR themselves back into the fold, I think it's going to be good. It's really going to be a pretty good season for them, I believe. You have a proven captain in Sanju Samson. You also have a batter in Sanju Samson as well. And I think I won't see him at number 3 anymore. I'll see him at top of the order, paired up with Yashasvi Jaiswal this time around. I don't think I'll see him at 3 anymore. He would be at my top order batsman. And I think you have Shimron Hetmyer, you have Riyan Parag and Nitish Rana, who are batting all-rounders, who are both bowl spin, but they have proved to be more than a handful even with spin. I think especially Riyan Parag as well recently, I think he's improving himself with each and every game. And Nitish Rana has been no less a quality player for so many years. I think they've just done themselves really, really well with batting, actually. They really, really have a very strong core squad. Shimron Hetmyer, Dhruv Jurel, Solove Vena, they can help you. They will power it up for you. They'll power it up for Ara because they are your literally designated finishers. Even though Hetmyer is not a person who can be considered a finisher because he can play at both 4 and 5. I think slotting him in at 5 also can make him as an effective finisher. He's developed that game over the past 3-4 years with RR as well. So that's then they have really good backups as well. For Shimron Hetmyer, you have Shubham Dubey, which is not the best one, but definitely a good Indian backup because he's also played pretty well in a few games in the IPL as well. He's done well. He's also done well in SMAT and so on. So it's good. And Vaibhav Suryavanshi that buy was a lot of an enigma. I would have felt that it was Rahul Dravid influencing that buy seriously because with Dravid, he also has a lot of experience in coaching the under 19 team for so many years, and he's given so much of trophies as well. I think his eyes would have gleamed when he saw like a 13-year-old guy in the IPL auction who's currently playing in the under 19. I think he might have had a vested personal interest in developing him and making him an even bigger player. And also this play, Vaibhav Suryavanshi has done very well as well. In fact, within the semis as well of the Under 19 Asia Cup, he's played pretty well actually. He played a critical role in bringing them to the finals. It's just that there wasn't much that they could have done in the final as well. But no, he's a definitely good player to look at. Definitely. And then Sanju Samson, wicketkeeper, you have Kunal Singh Rathod as well as backup. And spinners is the only weak point for me, in my opinion, with this squad. But considering that the limited budget they have, it's a really, really good thing that they were able to get Hasaranga and Tikshana at pretty low prices as well. So that's, and also with the fact that, both Hasaranga and Tikshana are from the same team and have played so much together, there's going to be an obvious level of, chemistry and synchronization between both of them that is going to be
Kumar
very,
Sangakkara
very helpful.
influence.
Sorry?
Sangakkara influence.
Yeah, no doubt. I think it's that. And also, it's kind of like an off-spin, leg-spin combination as well because Hasaranga is a leg spinner, Tikshana is an off-spinner and a mystery spinner as well. And you have a very good backup in Kumar Kartikeya. That guy is a super bowler in my opinion. I've seen his matches. I've seen his IPL matches as well. He's terrific to the core. And fast bowlers, I think they did really well with the fast bowlers auction. Although you got the injury-prone Jofra Archer, if he is in good form, he will be unstoppable. He will give bouncer after bouncer and will either try to break your legs, break the stumps, or break your head. Simple as that. You have a bowler who could do all the three together, and Sandeep Sharma, who's very wily, who's very, very, very calm and composed. Terrific. You also got like a wicket taken Tushar Deshpande, expensive Shardul Thakur kind of guy, but having become a vastly improved product from CSK, it's not a bad buy. Of course, it's slightly higher. The price tag was slightly higher, but it's not a bad one. I think Ara could make good use of him. Then you have other bowlers like Akash Madwal, Fazal Faruqi, Mafaka, and Ashok Sharma as well, who are not the biggest names, but who have proven themselves time and again. I think especially Faruqi has been in red hot form. He's in red hot form literally, I think. And I would really see Faruqi to be in the main 11 actually. I am just putting that literally. I would see Faruqi to be one of the main bowlers because they would literally want to use a left-hand fast bowler like, in the mold of Chantabol. He's one who can swing, can seam and nip it back and off as well. I think I'm going to see him in the squad, no doubt. But that's another story for another day. I would say that without a doubt, the captain is going to be Sanju Samson. And I would say that this squad has the potential to come into the playoffs, but it could also get stuck in the middle overs logjam if the bowlers do not, or if it does not click, because the bowling has now been a little less experienced, a little less on how to say the firepower that they could provide comparing to the previous years. But I would still say that if it clicks, I won't be surprised if they would go to the playoffs. My overall rating for them is, I would say it's around 7.5 out of 10. Yeah, that would be my overall rating because of the limited budget that they had from the start. The fact that they were able to still put kind of create a really, really good and a powerful squad on paper itself is a wonderful achievement. I think the think tank has to be appreciated for that. I felt that there was the backups were there. It's good, but they need to prove themselves again. That they are at the top level. So I think that's one concern. Injuries another concern as well. There's no doubt. There's some players like Hazaranga, Archer, who are very injury prone. But yeah, I mean, if they do click, they'll go on a unstoppable run. So yeah, that's my verdict.
Good, good opinions from Pranav Reddy. Manav, what's your take on RR squad in general? And give me a rating, and will they qualify for the playoffs?
I think this is a wonderful squad, I would say, because their top six looks set according to me. But the weakness where I see is probably their injury prone pace attack because Jofra Archer is injury prone. Sandeep Sharma also had injuries. Then their inexperience in bowling, I would say. Like fast bowlers, only Sandeep Sharma I feel is experienced. If you remove Jofra Archer, because Jofra Archer mostly will be injury prone as usual. Like, I don't see Tushar Deshpande having that much experience. Akash Madwal only just one season wonder. Last season he didn't do much. And then Faruqi is in red hot form, but again, overseas slot is the reason. And Mafaka is still raw. And Ashok Sharma, obviously, unknown player, inexperienced. So I feel that fast bowling is the weakness. Their spin, I probably believe, is one of the best, I would say. It's a good spin attack there, but again, again, Saranga is injury prone. Tikshana likes to leak a lot of runs, so that's one of the other weaknesses they have. So for me, I think the rating for this squad would be 7 out of 10. And regarding playoffs, I think it's going to be a close battle, but they will not come in top for sure. They'll only fight for third or fourth position. Maximum they will finish between fifth or sixth, according to. Okay, Ajit, what's your opinion, your rating, and your whether they qualify for the playoffs or not?
Okay, so after hearing Pranav and Manav's opinions on it, first I would actually want to kind of disagree on what Manav said regarding the spinners. Those two, Hasaranga and Mahesh Dixon, are good spinners. Actually, Hasaranga, you can say him as a bowling all-rounder. But I would say that their spin attack is actually significantly weaker than what it was the last few seasons. Obviously, with Ashwin and Chahal being gone. But first, I'll give my opinions on the batters, all-rounders first, and then I'll go with the bowling attack. Obviously, with Jaiswal and Sanju Samson being retained, they're going to be openers, and there's no doubt that they deserve to be retained, and Jaiswal deserves every penny of whatever he's getting from the 18 crores of wing retention value. Same thing with Sanju Samson as well. So those two are going to be phenomenal opening pair. Yeah, Shimran Hetmeyer being there, being retained, actually a very good thing done by Rajasthan Royals. Someone a middle order, or he could also be a finisher. An extremely good cricketer. I would. There's nothing wrong with him being retained. I had a bit of an issue of Dhruv Jural being retained for that much amount of money. I didn't have a problem with Dhruv Jural being retained in the first place, but retaining him for like 14 crores, I mean, I don't know whether he would go for that amount of money if he had been bought back in the auction and used an RTM, because I know that he's an Indian wicket keeper, so he would still go for a lot of value plus another Indian middle order batter. Very rare in commodity, I would say. I agree, but retaining him for that much amount of money, it was too expensive. And like what Pranav also mentioned, that they had to work on with a very limited budget, and that was because they had to retain players, understandably so. But Dhruv Jural for that much amount of money, I don't know. But I mean, RR might know something better than maybe we don't know. That's a different story. Obviously, they got Nitish Rana as your middle order batter, and who could also bowl a little bit. Very good against the spinners when it comes to his batting. He has phenomenal skills as a batter. So, a very good buy for Rajasthan Royals. Riyan Parag being retained, I think he's mostly going to play as a batter pretty much for the whole season. He's not going to bowl a whole lot. Even though he's been selected as an all-rounder for India and he's batting way too lower down the order, mainly using him as a floater or finisher, some kind of that. But he would actually be suited more at number 4, being at the middle order, playing against the spinners along with Nitish Rana. So I would say that's pretty much that for the batters, wicketkeepers, and all rounders. But for the bowling attack, that's where bowling attack on paper looks good. But when you look at the spinners, especially with Wanindu Hasaranga and Deekshana, That's the problem, is that they have to rely on their overseas spinners and they don't have any of the proper specialist Indian spinners. Obviously, Kumar Karthikeya they've gotten, and like Pranav mentioned that he's a very good spinner, but I don't know. We haven't seen him a whole lot, so that's a bit of a thing to look at. But depending on Hasaranga and Tikshana is someone who can be very economical at times. Even though at times he would go for runs too, but for the most part, he is very efficient and a very good mystery bowler. But again, you have to rely on your overseas spinners for your spin attack, and you don't have any genuine Indian spinners. That's a big weakness. Not a good thing for any IPL team to have when you do not have an Indian spinner. That is actually a huge problem. Again, with the fast bowlers, Jofra Archer, again, ever injury prone that he is, you never know whether he's going to play for the whole season. You don't know what's going to happen. Sandeep Sharma being retained, actually, they did a very good job of doing that because he's one of that unsung hero for Rajasthan Royals, being that guy who came in when he first played IPL. He would come in as a new ball bowler, predominantly swinging the ball in. He has that very good seam position, always that beautiful to watch. He's that kind of a bowler, and he has improved and evolved himself into one of the best death over specialists in IPL. So that's a very good thing that Rajasthan did. Tushar Deshpande again, this past season, I would say probably one of the best new ball bowlers in the tournament. I would say, especially when he played for CSK. Yes, in 2023 he had gone for a lot of runs, but 2024 you look at him, the way he has worked on his game with Dwayne Bravo throughout the season. And if you look at it on a 3-year period, I think Tushar Deshpande probably is one of the best young Indian fast bowlers that the league has seen. Been consistent with the new ball, so I thought Rajasthan Royals did a very good job of getting Tushar Deshpande. Same thing with Akash Madhwal, who did very well for Mumbai Indians in 2023. Fasak Faruqi again, like somewhat of a replacement for Trent Bolt. He has more of a good track record of the recent past for Afghanistan, being one of the highest wicket takers in the T20 World Cup, which concluded not too long ago. Koena Mapaka again, a very phenomenal quick fast bowler. I think he also played for Mumbai Indians this past season, and he went for a lot of runs in that 273 run fest that we saw in Hyderabad. But very quick bowler who I think has a very good future in international cricket, I would say. So if you look at the squad overall, I would say their batting is very good. Batting is covered. Their bowling attack on paper is good, but them not having an Indian spinner would probably be a big problem, especially Vanindu Hasaranga being injury prone. Mahesh Deekshana also had his injury problems this past season as well. Even he had to leave along with Pati Rana, getting some treatment and all that. So that is a big concern. So that, because when the season progresses, especially when you go towards the month of late April and early May, that's when most of the pitches do not have that. They're not going to be as flat as what it would initially be because of peak summer you have, and more pitches started to become drier, and it assists spinners a little bit more. So you need to have a proper spin attack, which is something is a very big miss that they have. It's going to affect them in the long run. So if you ask me my rating, I would give, despite their big weakness in their spin attack, I would still give this overall score rating of a 7. But that is being very generous. If, or you know what, I'll reduce it down. I'll give it a 6.5, I would say, because them not having a proper spin attack, especially Indian spinners, is a very big problem. Their fast bowlers are also, good. Some of them have performed well in this past few seasons of IPL. Some of them have been one of the best fast bowlers in the world, but again, you still have injury concerns and all that. So their bowling attack is going to be a big issue. I suspect that, but of course, we wouldn't know until we see them come March and April. The question of whether they'll make the playoffs with this team, unless they do extremely well and use the limited resources that they have, only then they can make it. But realistically, I don't see them. Probably somewhere anywhere between 6 to 10 they'll finish. I don't know whether they'll make it fifth spot. That is also going to be a big competition, but anywhere between 6 to 10 in one of those 5 spots, 6th to 10th place, I think somewhere they'll finish there. So I mean, anything could happen. It can change by the time the IPL season rolls around. But I think for now, I'll say that they won't make. I'll just safely say that they won't make the playoffs.
Thank you so much to Ajay for his valuable points. Looking at Ara's team, my first impression is that they've got a gun batting lineup, which has been addressed through their retentions. As we all know that I think Sanju Samson will open in this season along with Yashasvi Jaiswal. Then you've got Nitish Rana. Then you've got Riyan Parag, Dhruv Jurel, Shimran Hetmeyer, all these guys. And And if you're looking at the bowling lineup also, you've got Hasaranga, Tikshana, Archer, Sandeep Sharma, Tushar Deshpande, all these guys. I think the batting has been addressed. Couple of weaknesses I would like to mention is that they lack a proper Indian batter. Like if in case if Jaiswal or Sanju Samson or Dhruv Jalal, one of these Indian batters gets injured, they don't have a proper backup in that aspect. You cannot depend on Shubham Dubey, very talented lad, but can he fit in the role if in case if one of the main players gets injured? We don't know. Vaibhav Suryavanshi, very young, 13-year-old kid coming to the IPL. I don't see him playing for first couple of seasons itself. He's still young and needs more maturity, so that takes time. And looking at the bowling lineup, I think most of you guys have already mentioned that. I think the fitness issue of Jofra Archer, we don't know what sort of fitness status Jofra Archer will come into the IPL season. Can he be fit? If he's fit and firing, I think he'll make a huge difference to the batting for the bowling lineup. But if he's not fit, the bowling lineup collapses. Literally, it will collapse. So, another thing I would say is that they're missing a bowler like Trent Bolt, which I'm sure that Rajasthan Royals have tried their best to buy him back, but unfortunately, with the budget that they got, it went beyond their budget. For that reason, why they've got Jofra Archer back, but Bolt, someone who has been bowling phenomenally well in the power play. Almost every game he picks up at least an average of 1 or 2 wickets. That's the sort of bowler he is. But they got an able replacement in Fazlul Farooq, who is also a similar bowler, bowls in the power play. But another, and that's where and if you look at other bowlers also, they lack a proper depth specialist. Of course, Sandeep Sharma is a good option. He's another a good quality bowler, like what Ajit has mentioned. He's one of the best death bowlers in the IPL. But the question is that who is the partner for Sandeep Sharma? Is it Tushar Deshpande? Because is he the most reliable bowler? I am not too sure. Despite his recent improvements, I am not too sure about Tushar Deshpande as a death bowler. Jofra Archer, as I said, fitness issue is a big problem. Fazlul Farooq, he goes for runs, so that the death bowling issue is a bit of a problem. And another issue I would like to mention is, I think obviously Rajit has already alluded to the point of lack of Indian spinner. If we don't have an Indian spinner, then it becomes a bit difficult. But and another issue I would say is the fact that they don't have a backup for someone like Shimran Hetmar, because he's like one of your proven finishers in the IPL, one of the best so far in the tournament. And if he's not fit, because we all know he's got fitness issues, because he's been missing out cricket in West Indies. So, and because of his notorious fitness issues, injuries, and all that stuff, it's very difficult for him to replace. So that's there. And also they covered up with the with the overseas spinners also, which is Hasaranga and Tikshana. They are very good spinners, but they may not be the quality what a Chehel or a Ashwin provides. But despite the limited budget, I feel they have done well. As far as the rating is concerned, I think I'll give them a 7 out of 10. Despite the budget, they have formed a very formidable squad. But in terms of playoffs qualification, I don't see them, because we all know the way Rajasthan Royals. We all know how Rajasthan Royals play. It mirrors the way Sanju Samson plays as a batter. They start strong, but then as they come in the middle of the tournament, they started to flunder down a bit, and they finish in a very scrappy manner. Either they scrape through to the playoffs, or they may come at around fifth or sixth. They're more of a mid-table team, so I'm not too sure about the way they play, whether they can qualify for the playoffs or not. That's a big question mark. So I don't see them qualifying for the playoffs. With that being said, we'll move on to the next team, which is Gujarat Titans, the team that was a final, that was the winners of the IPL 2022, finalists of 2023, but they didn't make the playoffs in 2024. And if you look at the team, they've got really good. They have made the retentions pretty well. Shuman Gill, captain, one of the gun batters in the world. Sai Sudarshan, ever consistent. Rahul Tewatia, one of the best finishers in IPL cricket. Shafin Rutherford, really underrated cricketer. Joss Butler, we all know how great a player he is. Kumar Kushagra, Anuj Rawat, Rashid Khan, the gun spinner. Washington Sundar, one of the most recently improved cricketers in international cricket. Shah Rukh Khan, one of the best finishers in the domestic circuit. Mahipal Lamro, Nishant Sindhu, Arshad Khan, a really good all-rounder. Jayant Yadav, Glenn Phillips, very underrated cricketer. Kareem Janar, a very effective all-rounder for Afghanistan. Spinners, if you look at Bhanu Suttar, Sai Kishore. Sai Kishore is someone that I really look out for watching him. He's a very good spinner. I hope he gets a chance. And looking at the fast bowler, this is the engine of the Gujarat Titans. The fast bowling is something that I feel is their biggest strength. which is Kagiso Rabada, Mohammad Siraj, Prasidh Krishna, Gerald Coetzee, Gurnur Brar, Ishan Sharma, Kulvan Kejrolia. It's stacked with quality, supreme quality. I feel that's one of the biggest strengths. So with that being said, I think they've done a great auction, probably one of the best teams having been done in the auction. So I would like to open the floor for all of you guys to share their opinions. I'll start with Manav. What's your opinion upon this Gujarat Titans squad? What is their rating? Will they qualify for the playoffs?
I think this is a good squad, I would say. I think for opening, it's covered with Shubman Gill and Sai Sudarshan. I think one of the weakness I can instantly say is where is the middle order. I think the top order is set with Shubman Gill, Sai Sudarshan, and Josh Butler. Their middle order is looking weak for me because finishers, I think they have covered it with Rahul Tewatia and Shah Rukh Khan, but the middle order is weak. That's one weakness I can find. Another weakness is they have injury-prone players in Indian core itself. Like Prasidh Krishna is one injury-prone player. Everlasting Ishan Sharma, who's another injury-prone player. You can say that, and spin is another weakness for them. I would say spin is a weakness. I think there's a lot of cons in this team, but I would say that this team can they will struggle like last season, according to me. So, looking at the weaknesses of middle order, injury-prone players, and the lack of spinners, I would give this team a 6, and they'll probably compete in 6 to 10 position. That's my rating for this team.
Oh, okay. Strong opinion from Manav. Anybody wants to debate on him? Wants to give a bit of a fist pump? Pranav, you
I
go.
mean,
Go with your. Yeah. Go.
yeah, man. Seriously, I mean, I can understand why it's been said as such, but I mean, I'm a bit shocked as well because that generally how Gujarat Titans went to the auction was a pretty good one. I felt that it personally was actually a pretty good auction because their retentions were also very good in my opinion. I think, and the way they used RTM on Sai Kishore to get him back, I think that was also a very good one because he did not go at such a high price, but there was a bit of a bidding war for him at that low price. Using the RTM and getting him back was a smart work from them. I actually feel that Gujarat has perhaps the best top 3 to top 4 batters. Literally, the best top order batting in IPL is always Gujarat Titans. Comparable to Sunrisers, actually, I believe. Of course, Sunrisers is the most power packed one, explosive, but Gujarat has perhaps the most stable one, and I think the one that could succeed in almost any condition. They have that kind of a top batter because they have one that can hold one end and can go on 2 gears. They have 3 of those batters. And the way that they have bought Josh Butler, like in the mock auctions, they saw Josh Butler going for 16, 17 crores and were bought by Gujarat. Here he's gone, in the actual auction, he's gone a little lesser. So that was smart work from Gujarat as well. You have Shubman Gill as captain. Of course, the first season, there's always going to be the second season blues as well when it comes to captaincy or when it comes to batting. But you have an experienced player, an experienced captain who's there to support you. That, like chef's kiss, literally, for what Gujarat Titans have taught. And their all-rounders are also actually very, very, very good. The buys that they've had, like Washington Sundar, Mahipal Lomror, Glenn Phillips, and Karim Janat, 2 of your most underrated all-rounders. Glenn Phillips and Karim Janat. Glenn Phillips can also wicket keep if you want to. And he's now developed into perhaps one of the best off-spinners. An off-spinner who does not turn the ball too much, but who is capable of getting wickets like Akshar Patel. He's developed into that kind of an off spinner, and it's a very, very terrific one, and he's a very terrific one at that. And I think their all rounders are actually excellent all rounders, where they not only could be able to bowl a quiet 2 to 4 overs, but at the same time they can kind of bat well and can explode whenever required. You have Rashid Khan, who could just demolish off 79 of 32 in a few matches itself. Washington Sundar, who can also both bat and who can give 4 overs very well. Shah Rukh Khan, one of the best finishers. Mahipal Lomror, who's also growing into a very good finisher and a good middle order player as well. Then you have Glenn Phillips, who could finish. Karim Janat, who's a batting all-rounder, who could play at number 4 and number 5 very, very well. So who could also, hold on to another end as well. And their backups is also pretty good. You have Nishant Sindhu, you have Ashad Khan as well, who are also pretty good in my opinion. Because Nishant Sindhu was an under-19 sensation as well. Ashad Khan played for Lucknow, could not do so well, but I feel that he has a good potential as well in my opinion. And then their spinners, Manav Sutar, Sai Kishore, terrific by spin. Their main engine is definitely going to be the pace bowling department. Slightly injury prone, but very excellent pace bowling department. Hagiso Rabada, Mohammad Siraj, Prasidh Krishna, Gerard Coetzee, Ishan Sharma, Kulvan Kejrolia, and Gurnur Brar. Gurnur Brar and Kejrolia are like the more of the backups kind, but they both have excellent they both are very, very excellent in the domestic circuit. I think Kulwant Kejrolia is a notable mention here because he's been a net bowler for CSK as well for quite some time, and even in domestic matches, he succeeded. And look at literally look at the bowling lineup. Man.
Kulwan
You have a
Kejri also
bowl.
played in IPL teams also.
Yeah, he has
Kejriwala
played in
played for
IPL teams.
He
IPL.
played
He
for
played for
RCB.
RCB,
Yeah,
RCB
he's
and
played.
KKR also.
Yeah,
Yeah.
could not show much, but his net bowling stint in CSK has propelled him a lot, actually. A lot more than what his IPL stints have actually done. But look at your main fast bowlers. You have Rabada, you have Siraj and Prasid Krishna. Three strike, bang, on the deck, hit on the deck, strike bowlers. That is one of the best. That's like literally having the best, most valuable assets in the T20 game. These three actually can do so well, and even if one does not do so well, the other two can back it up more than what, so they have literally, covered all the bases, but without a doubt they are injury prone. Yes, Siraj Prasid Krishna is extremely injury prone. Ishant Sharma is also the same, but Ishant Sharma has lasted so long, literally for so many years. But yeah, it is a bit of an injury prone. Their spin is, yeah, perhaps a weak link, but I think Sai Kishore has done really well on Ahmedabad pitches, I think. And you also have, Rashid Khan, who's literally the number one there, the numero uno spinner there. And I think it looks like a weak link, but somewhere they have actually covered all bases. But yeah, not having a lot of the Indian core, especially, not having like perhaps the strong finishers or like a strong middle order might actually be a weak link for them. Perhaps a big weak link, because although their middle orders have like Washington Sundar, Shah Rukh Khan, Lomro and Rashid Khan and all, but it's actually a bit, and Tewati as well, of course. It's actually a little weaker though, because if they breach through the top order tally, if like let's say the pitch is something like, pace, like supports a lot of pace like Mullanpur, and if there's a lot of swing and seam assist to it, they actually will struggle a lot. The top order will struggle and can get out, so deliveries that are just like wide off the stump, and that will be troubling for the middle order as well to be able to take over and do. So a good stable top order, and explosive but possibly inconsistent middle order, in my opinion, is there. So that if the teams are, able to plan it out, then this team can struggle as well. But this is a team that can definitely succeed in their home venue in Ahmedabad. I really feel that they do have a chance of going to the playoffs. In fact, a very strong chance of going into the playoffs. But because a similar squad like this has not gone as well into the playoffs, it's going to be a 50-50 chance. I would give a rather higher rating though, because of how they went about in the auction. And I think personally, this is actually their auction strategy has been a very good one. I would say that I would give them an 8 out of 10 for them, on par with Mumbai Indians and CSK. I'd actually give CSK a slightly higher one, 8.5, out of bias maybe, but the position of Gujarat Titans is actually more similar to Mumbai Indians, because they have a core that is willing to perform really well. But how are they going to perform is a matter of time, because a similar squad like this has actually failed last year, has also succeeded as well, similarly equally. So only time will tell, that kind of thing. So I'll put Mumbai Indians and Gujarat Titans on that same, like either 3 or 4, that kind of situation.
Ajit, here you go.
I was a bit baffled with what Mana was saying and all that, but spin is not the weakness. I mean, you have Rashid Khan, you have Washington Sundar, and you have Sai Kishore in there. I mean, the spin attack is covered, I think. Yeah. Yeah, concern might be about injuries, because Rashid Khan also got a major injury not too long ago. Didn't look quite the same Rashid Khan that we used to see, but I think he's still one of the best, if not the best, T20 spinner in the world. I mean, you can't debate anything about Rashid Khan. Coming to the batting, though, I think their batting order looks much better than what it was this past season. Obviously, you have your captain Shubman Gill. Pretty much the team is revolved around Shubman Gill. Sai Sudarshan, who might bat at number 3 or maybe open with Shubman Gill, you never know. Along with Josh Butler, I mean, Gill and Butler might be one of the best opening combinations of the IPL, maybe this coming IPL. If you'd see Butler, even though he did not have the best of IPL season this past year, but he's still Josh Butler. Josh the boss is always one of the best openers and one of the best players in T20 internationals. You can always there's no debate about it. Yeah, I think their middle order kind of looks a bit more. I would say that it's a bit untested. I would say, rather than, I mean, I would say that them losing David Miller, LSG got David Miller, so them Gujarat Titans losing David Miller actually is one of the big things to happen. It's a big blow for them as well, because if you look at these past 3 seasons, David Miller actually gave that sort of that senior player mentorship and that leadership role, I would say, behind the scenes, or even as a batter, who's someone who's revived his career in Gujarat Titans, I would say, to in a way that he, they've given him more freedom, not just to just be as a finisher alone, but be in the middle order, taking his time and then going explosive at the end, give himself more time and play. So Gujarat Titans management gave him more freedom to bat a little bit more, rather than just being a finisher alone. But I mean, they have addressed it to an extent by getting Sherfin Rutherford, who probably a very dangerous batter in the middle order for West Indies, who's been doing very well as of late. So it would be interesting to see how they would replace David Miller with Sherfin Rutherford. But I would still consider that as a weakness, because we haven't seen Rutherford perform that great in the IPL. And of course, the spin attack I've just mentioned. Washington Sundar, as a batter, I think might get more freedom. I think this time around he might bat a little higher up the order instead of being just as a finisher. I think he would bat a little bit more higher up the order. Maybe depends. Maybe number four or number five, or if not, Shah Rukh Khan will play in that position. You never know. Glenn Phillips, I mean. He's literally an all-rounder. Like he just that personification of the literal all-rounder, because he can bat well. He's a damn good finisher. He can bowl off spin. I mean, I don't even understand how India, were able to get out to Glenn Phillips of all people as a spinner. I mean, he's a good spinner and all that. I agree, man. But come on, that was so appalling when India were playing against Glenn Phillips in the Test matches. It was so bad to see. But Glenn Phillips is a solid spinner. And also he can do wicket keeping. I mean, what can't he do actually? And one of the best fielders we've seen in the world, man. I mean, like the man is, he's one of the breathtaking fielders you can see. He's just phenomenal. So it will be interesting to see how they would use Glenn Phillips. But again, their fast bowling attack, I mean, it's always already been mentioned, is like that engine actually. Like probably I would say one of the best bowling attacks in the IPL, not above Delhi or Delhi, CSK, and I would go SRH as well, but and Mumbai Indians to an extent with their bowling attack. But still, Gujarat Titans have actually they have a much better bowling attack than this past season. Although, granted that they missed Shami a whole lot, that was a huge blow for them, because not only they lost Hardik Pandya training him to Mumbai Indians, but also missing out Shami for the whole season was also another big blow for them, which actually affected their bowling attack so severely. Now they've essentially replaced him with Mohammad Siraj. Mohammad Siraj, I would say that it's going to be a new challenge for him. It's going to be something more of a new phase of his IPL career. I would say going to a different team with Ashish Nehra. I think he'll definitely have a bit of a revival or some sorts. I would say he can work on his game a little bit more. Ashish Nehra is someone who's one of those people's coaches. One of the players' coaches. I would say he's someone who's always with the players, work along with them, and being one of the best coaches of IPL and also a mentor as well. Is like he's an outstanding coach. I think he'll help Siraj develop, try to tweak his game a little bit more, and Siraj can come all guns blazing. I feel Siraj will have a bet one of his best IPL seasons. I would say he might have it this time around. I mean, it's just a prediction. Prasid Krishna as well, very injury prone, but whenever he bowls, he can bowl well. Depends on the wicket as well, but I think Prasid Krishna is a very solid bowler. Gerald Coates is again another very good overseas fast bowler for South Africa. Same thing with KG Rabada. I mean, Kagiso Rabada is also like one of the best T20 bowlers of all time, I would say. Nishant Sharma, I think his leadership and veteran experience will give them a lot more confidence for the younger players as well. So, I mean, overall, if you look at the squad, they have a pretty balanced side. So, apart from the middle order concern, it's not bad or any weak. I would say it's just that it's been untested with that combination. It will depend on how the middle order combination will click, because you need to see whether they'll play will they play Sherfin Rutherford, Glenn Phillips, whether they're going to play Washington Sundar and Shah Rukh Khan at the same time. We don't know. Rahul Tewate is going to be one of the finishers, so there's nothing wrong, and there's no change in that. And obviously Rashid Khan can also give you a few runs as well down the order. Apart from the middle order batting slight weakness, I would say the team is well balanced. I would give this team a rating around 8 out of 10. If you ask me whether they'll make the playoffs, I think they will this time. So this is my fourth team. I think that they'll make the playoffs. So from the previous videos, I said CSK, I said Delhi Capitals, I said Sunrisers. Now I would say that Gujarat Titans can make the playoffs because when you have Shubman Gill, Sai Sudarshan, and Josh Butler at your top three, I don't see how teams are going to figure out a way to get them out that early on. It's going to be very difficult. It's going to be a big task, especially for someone like Sai Sudarshan, who's been phenomenal this past 2 years all over cricket. If you look at it in general, whether it's IPL or even for India or even for India A, it doesn't matter. He's been phenomenal. So I would say that they'll make the playoffs. Like I've said that these are the four teams who will make the playoffs, but who would be 1, 2, 3, and 4? We don't know. But I would say that this is my fourth team to make the playoffs, and yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this team will, they will, get their combinations right and how they'll gel well. But I think with a good management, they have a good support staff, and with a very good coach in Ashish Nehra, I think they'll do very well this time around, especially provided if they can avoid that injury bug compared to what this past season happened. I think they have a much better chance of making the playoffs this time around.
I think Gujarat Titans. I mean, as we all are in agreement, and they have probably have one of the top, probably one of the best top three in the competitions. If you got Gill, Butler, and Sai Sudarshan, you couldn't have got a better top three than this. And if you looking at the bowling lineup, as I said in the start, when you got three gun seamers in Rabada, Siraj, and Prasidh Krishna, you couldn't get a better top three seam attacks, especially in that Ahmedabad wicket where it tends to move around. It's a very pace and bouncy kind of wicket. Sometimes it stops and low. So with that sort of, and with the big boundaries, this set of bowlers can really extract those conditions. And with the side boundaries, I think these the bowling lineup will really come in handy. And as far as spin is concerned, they've got really good spinners, as we all know. Washington Sundar has improved a lot, leaps and bounces. Sai Kishore, one of the best domestic bowlers in the world. I wish he gets more chances. I really hope that Gujarat Titans starts to use him more. And then Rashid Khan, I don't need to tell much about him. He's everlasting legend. Couple of weaknesses I want to mention, as some of you guys have alluded the point that the middle order is a bit of a weakness. They don't have a proper Indian middle order batter, because when you lost someone like Hardik Pandya or even a David Miller also, that experience and the reliability of a finish of a player is missing. I think that's where they'll get stuck, because I don't know whether someone like Washington Sundar, although Washington Sundar will do well, but is he someone like Washington Sundar or Shah Rukh Khan or maybe someone like Glenn Phillips or Rutherford? Can they fill the void what Hardik Pandya or a Miller has done? We have to wait and watch. Another weakness I would say is that they don't have a proper death bowler, because if you look, as I said, as we all know that the three seamers that I have mentioned, they're really good players, especially in the power play and in the middle overs, because Siraj and Prasidh bowl in the power play, but in the middle, I think Rabada will start bowling in the middle overs. But as we all know, Rabada's death bowling numbers in the last couple of years has not been that great. He's gone for a lot of runs. Siraj, then he's not much of a reliable death bowler. Prasidh Krishna. We all know he goes for a lot of runs. And even if you look at some of the backups also, Gerald Coetzee, Ishant Sharma, Kulvan Kejriwal, they're not on the quality of what an IPL death bowler should be. So that's another weakness. And also, of course, the injury prone is also there, because let's not forget, Prasidh Krishna has not played IPL for the last 2 years. So that's also another sort of concern. And another concern I would say is the backup of Rashid Khan, because Rashid Khan has come out of a surgery for the last season, and he wasn't looking the old Rashid Khan, but I feel he has gotten better and better. I think T20 World Cup he's done really well, but I still feel a backup for someone like Rashid Khan could have been there. I mean, Gujarat Titans have tried to get Noor Ahmedabad, but because of the CSK strategy to up it up to 10 crores, they couldn't get that backup, right? So they could have got another backup spinner in that way, but that's where they have kind of, I wouldn't say mess it up, but that's something they could have considered. And another thing I would like to mention is Shubman Gill's captaincy, because of course first season as a captain is never easy. Being a captain, a captain of an IPL franchise is never easy. Taking over someone like Hardik Pandya, who has won your title and took you to finals, never easy. But can he step it up? It's the second season. That's a big question mark. The good thing is that he's got a couple of leaders around him. With Butler, with Rashid Khan, and he also got someone like Glenn Phillips. So they're all experienced players. Even someone like Rabada, who's also a leader and experienced bowler. So they have got some leadership group in that aspect. And also we've got Ashish Naru, who's one of the astute cricketing brains in IPL circuit. So I'm sure he'll get some sort of help. And another thing I would like to mention, and I won't say it's a bit of a bugbear for me. Someone like Washington Sundar, who has done so well in the recent times, should have got a lot more than that. This is something I want to ask you these questions. I feel first I'll mention my opinion. I feel the order of set which Washington Sundar has come. He came the day two, and he's been got like what 3.2 crores somewhere around that time. He should have got, if he's come the first day of the auction, he could have gone more than 10 crores in my opinion. I feel this is something that IPL auction has to do. Someone like Washington Sundar who deserves more than what he's getting currently. This is something I have an issue. What do you guys? I'll start with Ajit.
I mean, you actually mentioned you hit the nail on the head. I don't know about that. Like, I don't know why Washington Sundar did not come in day one, especially with all the other marquee set players. I think he should have definitely been there in one of the marquee set players. They were there on day one. Probably he would have gone for like more than 10 crores easily, especially with an improved version of himself as a spinner, and also he can still bat. I mean, that's also something that I've had an issue with teams, not just IPL but also even the Indian team themselves. They do not use Washington Sundar's batting prowess that much. He's a very talented batsman actually. If I have someone, me and I mean all four of us would have known Washington Sundar maybe during even the under 19 World Cup times where you had newspapers, see, Washington Sundar, bat that well. He's like that guy who can bat for so long, and also very talented batsman who can had wide range of shots. I would say is I don't know. Teams do not use him that well, but I think they pretty much made him into a spinner. Especially if you look at him, his first stint in IPL with Rising Pune Super Giants, he was made to be that power play spinner. Just use him as a spinner just in the power plays, and let him restrict the flow of runs and all that. And then he has worked on his game a lot, and he's worked on his fitness as well. He's been injury prone also, but also has worked on his fitness, is the way he bowls. Off spin rather than just bowling the quicker
He's
one.
become a more evolved
more
spinner.
Exactly, and not only as an
He's
evolved
become a
spinner,
more
but
evolved.
also very talented batter.
He's a talented
very
bat.
talented batsman. But maybe, hopefully, that Gujarat utilizes his batting prowess, and that's why I said he should bat somewhere at number 4 or number 5.
Number 4, number 5. Yeah.
So that's where I think it's an ideal position for someone like Washington Sundar who can bat well in the middle overs, especially with someone like Sai Sudarshan. Again, with the way Gujarat Titans have picked some very talented players from Tamil Nadu, and they've utilized them properly. I think Washington
This is
Sundar
not
also
Gujarat
needs
Titan. This is not Gujarat Titans. This is Tamil Nadu Titans.
exactly. No, you're right about that. But I agree with you. He should have definitely gone for not more than, but I would say maybe around the 10 crore range. He should have had that big value. But I felt bad for Washington Sundar, being listed in day two, and that too, what a steal for Gujarat Titans, especially for someone who's as talented as Washington Sundar. Getting him for like 3.2 crores is a steal. That's why I've been saying that Gujarat Titans, with the way they were able to get Washington Sundar, they were able to get Sharfin Rutherford, they were able to get Rabada, Butler, Siraj, and Prasidh Krishna and Gerald Coetzee. I don't see why. I mean, unless because of injuries and Gill's captaincy, as you would say, maybe little bit of weaknesses here and there in the middle order, maybe few of those reasons why they may not make the playoffs. But unless if this team is in full strength, healthy, man, I don't see why they're not going to make the playoffs this time.
I agree with you. Agree. Anybody would like to add to an opinion about this Sundar coming in very late? He could have got if he comes in the first day. Anybody would like to add? Pranav?
Yeah, no, I think this was something that I didn't want to speak much, primarily because I was more concerned looking at the squad. But I think player like Washington Sundar should have actually gotten more bucks, though. I think seriously. I think a player, even Glenn Phillips as well, should have gotten more. Washington Sundar and Glenn Phillips, both of them going at extremely low prices, were shocking for me. Were without a doubt very shocking for me because both of them were actually in form. At the time when the auction was going on, both of them were actually doing very well, But I'm here. I was very disappointed with like what happened when they went for lower bucks, but I think it was still good it was still a good thing that Gujarat bought them, because they were kind of fitting India's squad very well. Whether if they go at a higher price or whether if they go at lower price, I think that didn't matter as much as how they were going to fit in into the squad. I think that was something that I kind of looked out for more. I would just say when they just came, at a really good buy and they just bought them at at low prices, it's like fair play, man. You just got yourself a good one, man. You got a good snag. Fair play, you know that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
And by the way, the word
yeah.
snack is just a good sausage. It's just kind of you got a good meal. Simple as that. That's Aussie.
I know people would take it two different ways, so thank you for mentioning it out. Bana, would you like to add on upon this question?
No, I don't want to add anything on this. I think you
Okay,
guys have
okay.
covered everything.
Yeah, but as far as the rating is concerned, I think I like to give this team a 7.5 out of 10. And will they qualify for the playoffs? I think the next team that we're going to talk about is a 50-50 between the next team and this team. So that is where I'm stuck in that. So I'll give my answers at the end. So that I'll make it as a suspend. With that being said, I think, as I said, the next and the last team we're going to talk about is going to be a lot of banter and a lot of laughter and a lot of fun, which is Royal Challengers Bangalore. Looking
Yeah,
at this
RCB fans who
auction,
are going to watch this video, just run away. That's all I'll say.
I know. Looking at this
Just run.
squad, of course, I know. Run away because Ajit.
I mean, no,
I'm
no,
waiting
no.
for
It's not
Ajit's.
just that. It's not just Ajit Swana. I have a diss track written for RCB as well. If you could give me the permission to sing, I can sing that.
I
And
will. I'll come to you. 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 We all do that. We all do that stuff. Okay, so looking at the squad, Virat Kohli, obviously, he is probably rumored to be the captain, which is most likely to happen. Rajat Patidar, another rumor, he's captain Madhya Pradesh to the finals of Syed Mushtaq Ali. He's a decent captain. He could be another option, but we have to wait and watch whether he'll get the captaincy or not. If Virat Kohli is the captain, I think more or less he's going to be the captain. They've got Tim David, we've got Manoj Bandage, Devdutt Padikkal, Swastik Chakra, you got Phil Saw, Jitesh Sharma, Liam Livingston, Krunal Pandya, Swapnil Singh. They're only RTM, which I don't know why they have done that. Romario Shepherd, Jacob Buttel, which I feel is a can't buy. I'll be honest, in all seriousness, I know all jokes aside, but Jacob Buttel, guys, you have to wait, you have to look at him. He's a super player. Mohit Ratke, Suya Sharma, Aminandan Singh, Josh Azor, Bhuvi, which I feel is a good buy, Yash Dayal, Rasik Salam, Nuwan Tushara, the Mini Malinga, Lungi Ngidi. So looking at this squad, I know the swords is going to be opened and the jokes is going to come, but I would like to start with Manav's opinion first. Ajit, I'll come to you last. You're coming last.
I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. Don't worry. I'll wait. I'll just wait.
Alright, I'll come to Manav's first. What's your opinion about this squad?
I think this squad, I think the bowling, it looks injury prone, but I think they have two of the best fast bowlers. I would say most of them are good actually in fast bowling. You have Josh Hazelwood, you have Bhuvneshwar Kumar, then Lungi Engedi, proven player for CSK, and even Tushara. Tushara, I think he didn't get much opportunities for Mumbai, but when he got, he was expensive, but I think we'll see about that. Spinner, I would say that other than Krunal Pandya, I would say that it is slightly weak because I don't think Suyash Sharma is that much proven, and Liam Livingston is a part-time bowler. And wicket, I think the top order is one of the best. I think like Gujarat and Sunrisers, that top order is one of the best. You have Phil Saul, you have Virat Kohli, you have Devdutt Padikkal, Rajat Patidar. I think that top four is probably set, and they have a good finisher in Tim David as well. So this team, I think their batting every season it's set, but something they do. I don't know what that Mr. Nax gives that some black magic that that even with the
Please save
even
those
this
for me.
bat-
Please save those. Please save those for me, man. I have a lot. I have bones to pick on those. That goof.
well, some black magic happens that even with this is actually a better batting than last season, I would say, because on paper, obviously Cameron Green and Glenn Maxwell were good, but Cameron Green going unsold, and then Glenn Maxwell going for the price of Tim David to Punjab, which shows that their stocks have dropped. So I think this team batting looks set. One weakness obviously is their injury prone bowlers because we know Josh Hazelwood recently, you know what happened to him. Bhuvi also has been dealing with injuries. Due to injuries, his form has dipped. Lungi Ngidi is also an injury-prone player. Yes, they are obviously, who will forget about that Rinku Singh massacre and then being retained for 5 crores. So he's also an injury prone player if you look at it. So fast bowling is full in hospital bed players and spinners other than Krunal Pandya. I don't see anyone who's proven. So this team, I would give it a solid 7 only because of their batting, which I hope they'll do something. But always the RCB fans will be like they'll hope something and they will get nothing. And playoffs, I don't think this time miraculously, even if they make, they'll get out first.
I know. I'll finish my opinion. I know Pranav and Ajit would like to troll them, but I'll give my serious opinion. Then also I'll troll them a little bit. I think if you're looking at the team RCB, I feel they have sorted out the batting order. Last year the batting order looks a bit disorganized. Yes, DK has done well, and Virat Kohli and Faf du Plessis did well, but it was disorganized. But this time, I feel they have a much better and structured batting lineup with Virat Kohli, Phil Salt, Padikkal. I don't know why Will Jackson. Yeah, I'll come to that. I think number 3 probably either Padikkal or maybe someone like Rajat Patidar. Then you got Liam Livingston who suits well in those wickets in Bangalore. Then either Jacob Bethel or someone like Tim David. Then Krunal Pandya, Jitesh Sharma. I feel this is my personal opinion. I think Jitesh Sharma is probably one of the best purchases RCB has done because he's a very underrated finisher. Seriously, I'll be honest with you. But 11 crores. But I'll be honest with you. Devdutt Padikkal, someone who's 3-4 years back was probably the rising star in from RCB, being bought for 2 crores. He's still a talented guy. He's part of the Indian test team. I don't know why he's still there. That's a big question mark. But maybe for a backup. And if you look at the bowling lineup, I think they got a good seam attack. I think with Bhuvi coming in, I think it is Bhuvi coming in was a big difference. I feel the bowling line looks much better. Hall Hazelwood, one of the best bowlers in the world in Team 20 circle. Yes, they are improved a lot. Six Alam Das, decent bowler. Tushara, decent. Ngidi, I don't know why. And spinners, if you look at spinners, Surya Sharma, I have no clue why they bought Surya Sharma. I seriously, he's a decent spinner, by the way. No, make no mistake. But looking at this team, look, Tim David, very, very good player. But he hasn't had a great season, but he's been doing well in the franchise cricket. So yeah. But if looking at the bowling lineup, I think what Manav Gupta has summarized the bowling attack perfectly. It is a hospital-ridden bowling attack. Seriously, it's filled with injury prone. Hazelwood just now got a news. He's rolled out of the Border Gavaskar Trophy. Bhuvi had his injury share. Yes, they are. Can he repeat the same success what he has got last season? No. Rasik Salamdas, oh god. Six crores you bought him. I don't know why. Forgive me. Crying out loud. I know why you bought him. Nuwan Tushara, decent player. Ngiri, oh my god. Seriously, but the moment I remember Ngidi is where I remember two instances. One is against Jofra Archer, where Jofra Archer gave hit 18 or 20 runs in the Sharjah, and the second instances was against Kyron Pollard in Delhi, where he couldn't defend 12 runs, fucking 12 runs. You cannot seriously defend 12. I seriously can't believe why you got Ngidi. You could have got Mustafizur Rahman. Even if you got Mustafizur Rahman, I won't mind it because he's a decent death bowler. But seriously, NGD series, I don't get it. Romario Shepherd, wow, fantastic bite. Fantastic bite. Never understand why you bought someone like Romario Shepherd. No spinner in Chinnaswamy, big risk. Surya Sharma, you're putting all your bets on Surya Sharma. He did well in KKR, but he hardly got chance. But as far as in Chinnaswamy is concerned, big question mark. And as far as I don't think so, bro. Romario Shepherd for backup for Tim David. I'd rather play Jacob Bettel. He's a more of a versatile batter, in my opinion. I feel there are a couple of smart purchases they got. I'll mention this Jitesh Sharma, Krunal Pandya, then someone like Jacob Bethel. I think they are probably one of the best purchases. I think they fit in the team really well. But overall, if I give this team, I would give it as a probably 7 out of 10. Will they qualify for the playoffs? I don't think so. This team seriously they don't have a spinner. Spinner is a problem. Their fast bowling is injury prone. It's a big question mark. Injury prone fast bowling lineup. And but it's a decent bowling lineup only because Bhuvi is there. Because Bhuvi is one of the great all-time IPL greats. We have to agree with that. But yeah, they may not qualify for the playoffs. Okay, Hazelwood also yes. But yeah, you know what? I'll give it to Pranav Reddy first. So you want to if you want to put your diss track song, do it. It's all you.
Okay, so before I kind of go to the current squad, I have an overview, like complete kind of mindset of what the squad has been over the years and what I felt, what everyone would have felt singing. So I'm just going. Okay, can I? Sure, sure. Okay. IPL வந்துச்சுனா நம்மள பெண்டு எதுப்பாண்டா தீல விழுந்தது போல நம்ம பாடி எரியுண்டா ஈசல கப்பு நம்துன்னு சொல்வாங்க அதுக்கு விழாததா அவங்க கழுத்தா மாத்துல நல்லா மிதிச்சிட்டு சும்மா இருந்துக்கோங்கடா நமக்கு இந்த விளையாட்டு வேணாண்டா இனி ஜல்சா பண்ணுவோண்டா நமக்கு இந்த கப்பு வேணாண்டா இனி ஜல்சா பண்ணுவோண்டா இசலா கப்பு வேணாண்டா வாழ்க்கைய யோசிங்கடா கையில ரொம்ப துட்டு இருக்குதுடா யோசிச்சு பாருங்கடா ஜாலி பண்ண டைம் இருக்குதுடா இருக்கிற வரைக்கும் அனுபவிக்க இளமை இருக்குதுடா அதனால பிகிலு நமக்கு இந்த கப்பு முக்கியமாடா இனி ஜல்சா பண்ணுவோண்டா இசாலா கப்பு வேணாண்டா எப்பவுமே ஜல்சா பண்ணுவோண்டா இசாலா கப்பு வேணாண்டா வாழ்க்கையை யோசிங்கடா நமக்கு ஃபன் மட்டும் போதும்டா that is what RCB team has been throughout the years, and they say that
By
they're
the
trying to get the
super song, bro. I have to mention it's a super song.
கிரிக்கெட் நீங்க டஃப் கொடுத்துட்டீங்க, வேற லெவல் தான், சூப்பர், உண்மையிலேயே சொல்றேன்.
Thank you. But this was the mindset of what RCB has been throughout the years. They tried to say
இத
that
மட்டுமே எடிட் பண்ணிட்டு தயவு செஞ்சு டிஸ்ட்ராக்ட் போட்டுருங்க ப்ளீஸ்.
Then overall, you see, they have so much of they had bought, they have played so many excellent players. They're trying to say that you'll win the cup. ஆனா ஒரு ஆணியும் புடுங்கலன்னு வச்சுக்கோ, ஒரு ஆணியும் எடுக்கல, அவ்வளவுதான். That's how they have been as a team over these many years. And in the squad பார்க்கும்போது எனக்கு அதே feeling தான். But honestly speaking, this is still a very good squad on paper. They had the second highest auction purse, which actually was a good thing for them in the end, because the squad has also changed. The coaching staff, the personnel, the team, the think tank has changed a lot as well. Bringing in a person like Andy Flower as coach is perhaps one of the best things. Is a master stroke from them, because Andy Flower has helped out to a wide range of several teams.
He is a proven coach. He has won a lot of trophies wherever he has coached.
It's not just proven a lot of trophies, even in the IPL as well. For a team like Lucknow Super Giants, he's brought them to the playoffs for so many years. Of course, in 2024, there was a not so good year. I think there was a lot of issue as well. But
2024, he wasn't there.
He wasn't there. Okay,
he was in coach for RCB. He coached RCB.
Okay, that's a thing. That is a thing as well. So he has had good rapport with RCB and has brought them to playoffs. Of course, that playoffs is a different matter of different names. But he has won several trophies, and I think I remember what England had endured, in the World Cup as well, with how they have battled. Andy Flower kind of coached them up and brought them up to a performance in 2015. He's let them off in 2014, but has given them the impetus that they needed to win in 2015. And he's also won the T20 World Cup for them as well in 2010 when he was the coach. So he definitely is perhaps one of the best coaches in my opinion. And I think in a format like this, I think he could do wonders for them. And I think it was a good strategy that that they have decided to change their think tank to bring a coach who has had a similar impact as what Mike hasn't had for RCB. I think. I know that there's a lot of things, but there's just that one change itself was momentous, and then bringing in DK back as batting coach and as a mentor, I think that's also a good thing, because he's a pretty calm head man. He's a really really good guy. He has not been lucky with whatever how many opportunities he's had, but whatever he's had, he's made it count. And bringing him as a mentor is a really good strategy, because he has that mindset, that level-headed, calm mindset that.
If you've seen RCB's YouTube channel, they have discussed the strategy of the IPL auctions. DK has mentioned that Bhuvi is the best bowler in T20 cricket after Bumrah in Indian circuit.
I definitely agree. I think if you look at the squad, definitely DK has played a critical role in many of these picks, and I'll tell you why. Definitely DK.
Meanwhile, Mohammad Shami in one corner is punching air. Go ahead.
That's what I'm saying. I wish DK could have done so much more, but I mean, honestly,
best bowler after Bumrah. What a day.
No, I don't think so. I think there is merit. to what he says. In the current
He's
status,
not better
there's
than
definitely
Shami.
merit.
But you know what? I'll let you finish your point. When I say mine,
Yeah.
I'll say what I have to say.
Because the thing is, Bhuvi and Shami are literally on like the same stage right now because they both have been performing really well, for what they have been enduring. And I mean, there is a reality in which DK is saying, in the circumstance in which DK is saying. The current Indian pace bowlers, maybe Siraj is kind of like that, he's blowing hot and cold. They have not shown so much of promise. Maybe Akashdeep definitely has,
Arshdeep
but is
Singh.
unlucky. Arshdeep
Arshdeep
Singh has
Singh.
also done. Yeah, but the current Indian think tank has just not been so good. And I think I do not want to deviate myself, but coming back to this, I think DK has been a good one for them as well. And I think many of their coaching staff has actually been proven coaches for different cricketing teams worldwide as well. And I think there is some chance.
Ajay, you get
And
your turn. You get your
you'll
turn.
get your
Don't
turn.
worry.
But I think
Yeah.
coming back to the squad, I mean the batters. These guys have like batters. You have Virat Kohli, Patida, David, Bandage, Padikal, and Chikara. Some of them are backups as well. I think I won't see. I surprisingly won't see Team David playing much for this team. I would see him as a backup, but I won't see him so much in this playing team. Unless if you want to use him as a finisher, I would actually see Devdutt Padikkal at number 3 instead, which is not the best position for him, but I would see him. But the fact that they have gotten Jitesh Sharma and Phil Salt at similar prices, I think was a really smart work from them. And I think getting Phil Salt out from KKR to play with Kohli in RCB, I think that will be there will be fireworks at Chinnaswamy. It's like he's literally like a perfect replacement for Will Jacks. Of course, twice as expensive. Leaving Will Jacks was a steady batting in my opinion, but you got a really good player match winner like Phil Salt in my opinion is very 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 important thing to note.
He's a better upgrade. He's a better upgrade than
Will
Will
Jacks.
Jacks, if I'm being
I
honest.
think you have because Jacks has scored 100, but Phil Salt is on another level right now. Seriously, he's
exactly.
literally bashing. He's literally.
He's one of the
bashing
main
everywhere.
reasons. He's one of the main reasons why KKR won the title.
Won the
I'm being
title
honest.
as well. So that is that. Jitesh Sharma has been a really good finisher as well for Punjab Kings as well. Of course, there's been only 1 or 2 seasons, but he's still done really well. Liam Livingstone, Krunal Pandya, Romario Shepherd, Jacob Bettel, and even Tim David. Look at how much they've only just spent just on all-rounders. All of them were steals in my opinion. They've only spent approximately 25 crores at most in my opinion. 25 to 30 crores to get 5 excellent all-rounders. How, man? Seriously, how? That's a terrific, the terrific, decision making from them. Terrific way of approach, because look at Romario Shepherd. Last year, look at what damage he's done for Mumbai Indians. He's played as a finisher, 30 runs in one over.
But he gave 30 runs also. That's also
So
another
he
damage
get
he has done.
30
So
runs. He got 30 runs. That's a different thing.
yeah, exactly.
But he can still finish games for you. Krunal Pandya, Solabhi Venus, for so many years he's been an excellent player. As a bowler and as a batter.
Underrated all-rounder.
Underrated all-rounder. Underrated.
Krunal
Liam
Pandya.
Livingstone can do the same as well. He's bashed up so much. Literally, he's done so well, but he's just not been lucky enough to get a good team where he could play with. Tim David, no, trust me, literally that's the case in my opinion. Tim David is slightly inconsistent, but he's still firing well. And Jacob Bettel is one of the best talents that I'm seeing around. Literally, recently as well with England versus New Zealand is terrific. Actually, he's literally terrific, and I see him as a really really big prospect to begin with, like a near like for like replacement for Will Jacks as well. The fast bowlers have been vastly improved right now. You have Josh Hazelwood coming back to RCB colours again. Yash Dayal, who has performed really well in Chinnaswamy, so in the previous IPL, and who can definitely perform well as well. Bhuvneshwar Kumar, who has so much of experience, has performed well in Chinnaswamy both in Indian colours as well as in different IPL colours. Lungi Ngidi is a 50-50 though because he has been expensive. But I see Lungi Ngidi more as a power play bowler. CSK has used him more or less like a power play bowler than as a death bowler in my opinion. I think Lungi Ngidi could fulfill the power play issue really well. I think, and in power, and he's
the money which they invested in Lungi Indian is just for his hospital bill, so don't worry about that.
Yeah, that's also that. But as a power play bowler, he could play a really critical role. I feel maybe not so much for Chinnaswamy, but he could do pretty well in my opinion because if you remember his spells for what he's done for CSK, 4 for 10, 4 for 18 and all, he was a power play bowler. That was what he does. He can swing very well. I mean, I know I could see there's so much of confused reactions, but he has been really, really good.
No, I know the stats.
I know. And if you bring him back,
it is just a certain. a certain person who is distracting us for having a very serious conversation. I'm going to let
Yeah,
him
I
talk.
know.
Then
I
I will
know,
let him. I'll
honestly.
take care of it. Don't worry. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. But I think some of the buys have also been a bit confusing, like Rasik Salam, Rasik Salam and all that was a bit confusing in my opinion as to why they have bought
They
him.
bought him for death bowling. They only
They
bought him
bought
for
him for
death
dead
bowling
bowling.
also.
But I mean, Bowie could do it, Yash Dayal could do it, Josh Hazelwood can also do dead bowling very, very well. I think he's worked out for RCB as well in 21, in 22 as well, before he had to withdraw. He's worked really well for them. And I think their fast bowlers is a highly injury prone one. It is somewhat a bit, kind of noticeable, somewhat kind of prominent. But I think if this works, they actually can stifle a lot of many teams. Literally, they can stifle so many teams, so many IPL teams, even in Chinnaswamy itself, because of what their record has been. The backups has not been so good in my opinion, but when it comes to all rounders, I think they've done pretty well as well. When it comes to backups, in my opinion, the spin is a big weakness. Maybe apart from
Yeah.
Krunal Pandya and Suyash Sharma, I think it's just there's nothing much I could see. Maybe of course in the overseas, like the all rounders like Liam Livingston, Jacob Bethel, and of course there's Swapnil Singh as well, who's underrated because he in the last 7 games for RCB he's performed really well, taking up a wicket or two really
Yeah.
well. That so he's been a good support, but spin is a clear weakness. In my opinion, if this squad can go to the playoff, they can definitely go into the playoffs. They can definitely get out in the eliminator itself. It's kind of a team. They can also go all the way as well if they have an uninterrupted, like if they gel well and uninterrupted run. They can also get out as well. They can get the wooden spoon. They can go in the middle table long jam. This is a squad that is really good, but is really unpredictable on how they are going to perform. My score for this is actually a 7.5. I'm actually giving a slightly higher score because they have actually taken a really good team, in my opinion, though. But the thing is, it's injury prone, but many teams also have the same concern as well. Even many teams that we've said that they would go to playoffs in the IPL or have chances for that also have similar issues with what RCB is facing. Chinnaswamy is not the best venue to play, especially if it's a home ground, because you'll get bashed all over. But the bowling attack they've got, especially the pace bowling, is actually a pretty good one on Chinnaswamy, I would say. I think it's something that they could manage and stifle up if they have. But the spin is also a big weakness. So playoffs is a 50-50 chance, in my opinion. They could get into the middle table logjam. But if they do get into the playoffs, it's primarily because of how well they've clicked. With captaincy, there is of course Rajat Patidar and Virat Kohli. But I would see Kohli getting the nod ahead of Patidar. They would want to, kind of get Patidar maybe a year or just get him off a year or two as vice captain, because there would be some matches where Kohli might not play, and this is one of the very few teams where they could use the impact player very well. Literally very well as an impact player.
That's true.
I think this and Delhi Capitals are the only two teams that they could completely use the impact player to the hilt. And I could see Kohli captaining a few, Patidar captaining a few. They would want to train Patidar to be a more long-term captain for RCB. I think that's how I see his retention as. But I would see Kohli captaining again. I think it's more likely to see him.
டேய் அஜித் ரொம்ப ஓவரா கமெண்ட் அடிக்கிறாடா டேய் டேய்
Macha, I'm
சீரியஸ்
powered. I'm
சீரியஸ் கான்வர்சேஷன்
powered.
டேய் ரொம்ப சீரியஸா பேசுற வரை நீ வேற ரொம்ப ஓவரா guys by the way when Pranav was talking Ajit was hammering comments like anything giving all sorts of comments here and there டேய் என்ன இது
In fact, half of the comments that I see, it's like saying like how Rohit Sharma has been, currently in Indian cricket. That's how I see us.
அதான்டா
Leave
Okay, சரி
separately. I have a lot of that to say, but as a separate video.
சரி டேய் அஜித் இப்போ சொல்லடா நான் ரொம்ப வெயிட் பண்ணிருக்கேன் எனக்கு தெரியும் you are so itching to talk about go it's all yours go.
Okay, first I'll get the serious stuff out of the way before I absolutely crucify them. Of course, if you look at in terms of auction strategy, they've done much better than what they did this past season, especially with the way they've chosen their bowling attack. I think Josh Hazelwood, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Rasik Salam, Nuwan Tushara, I think they've picked their fast bowlers well. I think it's say that they're good enough for that Bangalore conditions, especially Josh Hazelwood actually performed for RCB also. He's done well in Chinnaswamy Stadium as well. In IPL in general also. Obviously, their batting, Virat Kohli, no brainer that he's going to be retained, and maybe he is going to be the captain. If Faf was not retained, I assume that he would be the captain, and or rumors going around that if Kohli is not captain, then Patidar might be the captain, considering that he did very well for Madhya Pradesh. And I mean, they should have gone for KL Rahul. Even though you can say that how to fit KL Rahul and all that, and you can say whatever you want, but I still feel that they should have gone for KL Rahul. I don't know why they went for David Padikal. Maybe they could use him at number 3. I don't know, but and still, Devdutt Padikkal, came into limelight once he was bought by RCB. Played in 2020, made his debut in 2020 IPL. The postponed edition of the IPL, and when they played in UAE, he probably played so well. Phil Salt, is going to open with Virat Kohli. That's not a doubt. And Jitesh Sharma, I think I felt that it's a good pick for RCB, but they went a bit overpriced. I think 11 crores for Jitesh Sharma was a bit too much, I would say. But it's the same thing like what happened for Dhruv Jural when Rajasthan retained him for 14 crores. So I think
It's the auction dynamic that RTM that another version of RTM rule, no, with the dynamics which I bought, no, that I think RCB is they got it around 7 or 8 crores, and
it was around
Punjab
8 crores actually. Punjab hiked it
yeah
to
8
11.
no RCB got it at 8
No, Punjab
crores.
wanted to use their RTM. No, Punjab wanted to use their RTM.
Punjab
Punjab had
Punjab
RTM.
used their RTM. They use their RTM and RCB hiked it up to 11 crores. So I think that's the auction dynamics we talk about. It's almost similar to what.
I know that. I understand that, but still,
Similar to
11
what happened with
crores
Punch.
was a little bit too much. That's what I would say. But continuing on with the spinners, it's probably one of the weakest ones. I would say it's slightly even more weaker than what Rajasthan had, because Rajasthan at least they have good quality spinners, but it's still fully overseas spinners, and you don't have Indian spinner. Where here you're going to rely on Liam Livingston, who's a part-time spinner. Jacob Bethel, who I think is like Adrit already mentioned, that one of the smartest buys that RCB have done. Probably one of the smartest choices that they've had out of millions and billions of other choices that they've had. So I don't know, but for some reason their brain cells started to work, and they got Jacob Bethel, so it's a good thing. But yeah, Suyash Sharma, I don't know whether you're going to have a spin attack led by Suyash Sharma or Kunal Pandya, because Krunal Pandya is someone who can be that supportive role bowler who's been doing like that for LSG and for Mumbai Indians. So I don't know how are they going to use Krunal Pandya as your lead spinner. So you have to place Suya Sharma. Livingston again, another part-time bowler, but he can bowl well. He can bowl the off spinner, he can bowl the leg spin also. So he's pretty good, a very good utility player in general, but a very devastating middle order and a finisher. Where is a proven six hitter for Punjab as well. So I think RCB did a good job. Again, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, even though Dinesh Karthik did mention it in one of those behind the scenes videos that he's probably one of the best T20 bowlers since Bumrah. I disagree with that to an extent, even though Bhuvaneshwar Kumar is one of the only 3 players to win Purple Cap, IPL Purple Cap twice, alongside Dwayne Bravo and Harshal Patel. But Bhuvaneshwar Kumar has been good, one of the legends of IPL, and a highly skillful bowler. But still very injury prone, and obviously people Mana mentioned that it's going to be a hospital bed ridden bowling attack. And I would say that it's pretty
homecoming
good
for him also.
Huh?
Homecoming also for Bhuvi.
Yeah, actually, yes. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar was picked by RCB in 2009 or 2008, I think, somewhere.
9.
Yeah, 2009 he was picked by RCB. Regarding the finisher, again, they'll have Jitesh Sharma as one of the finishers, but again, if you want another overseas finisher, I would rather play Romare Shepherd, someone with his brute strength and power, especially in RCB, he'll be much more useful than Tim David, in my opinion, I would say. Not much of a difference, but I would rather go Romare Shepherd. But if I'm someone like a CSK fan, please give Romare Shepherd the bowling. We would love to get some free 20-25 runs, please. I would rather see that. But if you're an RCB fan, you don't want your coach or captain giving Romare Shepherd the bowling sometimes, especially in RCB. A minimum 20 run over guaranteed. I would rather say that with the way he's bowling. In Even for Mumbai Indians, he's been whacked a lot. Nuwan Tushara, a little bit more expected from him, but he kind of underwhelmed for Mumbai Indians. But again, that chopping and all that, changing of the side and the squad a whole lot for Mumbai Indians really did not help. So yeah, I think a bit of an underwhelming season for Nuwan Tushara, but I expect that he could do well, especially considering that Josh Hazlewood did have an injury right now, who's going to miss the rest of the Border Gavaskar Trophy as of today. That he just bowled one over and he left the field. So I think it's going to be a bit of a test for Josh Hazelwood's fitness coming into the season. But anyway, the serious part is all over. But whatever it is, man, doesn't matter. It's still the same template again and again and again and again. You're using your overseas, batters. You're just building up your overseas, player strength. And again, you're just going to attract for your batting, even though their bowling, their bowling attack looks much better and all that, but it doesn't matter. In anything in Chinnaswamy Stadium, you go anybody or anyone doesn't matter except for Yuzvendra Chahal. Everybody's going to get whacked. And not picking Yuzvendra Chahal, I don't know what they were smoking. I don't know what they were smoking. I don't know. They should have picked Yuzvendra Chahal when he was going for that much amount of money. At least pushed a little further to get a good spinner. Since you do not have a good spin attack, I don't know what they were doing. Also, with the way I must say this, man. How many players would they have to buy? They don't have a core. It's the only core player that they've been having is Virat Kohli. And ever since then, I mean, man, I can name you players on top of my head right now. I don't even have a list right in front of me. I can just name players on the top of my head whatever players RCB have had. Can I go on? Can I say the names of the players?
Heinrich Klaassen.
Recent first lane. I'll go from first.
Yeah, okay, go.
Rahul Dravid, Anil Kumble, Owen Morgan, Misbah-ul Haq, Shivnarayan Chanderpaul. I mentioned Jackal is also. I think Jackal is anyway. Dale Steyn, Robin Uthappa, Anil Kumble, Rahul Dravid. I mentioned all of them. They had Steve Smith also at one point. I don't know what they were doing. Then same thing, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, long back. I agree that, but still they didn't retain him. And then they had Chris Gale, they had Daniel Vettori, they had Tilak Ratne, they had A.B. de Villiers, Muttiah Muralidharan,
Kevin Peterson.
Kevin Peterson, yeah. I missed out to Kevin Peterson. I mean, wow. What a name.
Cameron White.
Cameron White again, another good player as well. Then, I mean, so many other are there, bro. I said De Villiers, I said Dilshan, I said Daniel Vettori, and then Muttiah Muralidharan, Mitchell Stark again. Oh, legend. Yuvraj Singh, Albi Mokel. How many of them they've had, man? And they fumbled the bag so hard on a lot of them, man. My God. And then
they had Brendan McCullum.
Brendan McCullum, Quinton de Kock, Heinrich Klaassen, Travis Head,
Chris Wokes,
and then Chris Morris. Because Chris Morris, they went for record-breaking auction and only had him for one season.
Shane Watson.
ஐயோ நீ சொன்ன பத்தியா ஷேன் வாட்சன் நம்பர் 3 நம்பர் 4 அனுப்ப வேண்டியது ஃபைனல்ல வந்துட்டு அவனை வந்துட்டு இத்தனை சீசன்லயே அடிக்காதது வந்து அடிச்சு குடுறான்னு கேட்டுருந்தாங்க. தட் டிட் நாட் கோ சோ வெல். நான் சொன்ன மாதிரி ஹென்ரி கிளாசன் சொன்ன, டிராவிஸ் ஹெட்,
ஆலன் பிஞ்ச்
ஆரன் பிஞ்ச் எல்லா டீமுக்கும் ஆடி இருக்கான், அது ஒன்னும் சொல்ல முடியாது. எவ்ரி அதர் டீம் ஹஸ் டிராப்ட் ஹிம் ஆஃப், டசன்ட் மேட்டர்.
Manish Pandey, first Indian to score 100 in IPL.
Manish Pandey வேற கேளு, அதான் வருது எல்லாம்.
ராகுல் டிராவிட்,
அதுக்கப்புறம் வில் ஜாக்ஸ்,
ரீஸ் டாப்லி.
ஐயா அவர் விட்டு தள்ளு.
ஃபேமஸ் டயலாக் அது பீட்ராக் சொன்னாங்க, பெல் பாட்டம்ஸ், அது சொல்லு.
அந்த பேல்சி பேண்ட் போட்டு டார்லிங் பாட்டு மாதிரி அப்படின்ற மாதிரி ஓடி வருவான் அந்த பேல்சி பேண்ட் போட்டுக்கிட்டு. அவன் bowling ஆக்ஷனே காமெடியா இருக்கும் பாக்கவே. Thank God I was not in the stadium, watching live his action. இல்லாட்டி நான் சிரிச்சு செத்துருப்பாங்க. டிவில பாக்கவே காமெடியா இருக்கு, நேர்ல பார்த்தேன்னா நான் விழுந்துடுவேன் நாங்க ஸ்டாண்ட்ல இருந்து. அவ்வளவுதான். எபா டேய் இந்த மாதிரி. No, the reason is that they've had so many players over the years. I know that every other team does that. It's like 18 seasons. I know that you had mega auctions happen once in 3 years. I understand that, but again, you should have on the team, you should have some kind of an identity, especially a good core. You should have that core for few years and prolong it for a while. So, for example, if you look at CSK, yes, you can't compare it with CSK or even Mumbai Indians, somewhere like that. You have few players who've been there in that team for so long.
Take an example. Take an example. KKR, man. Look at the core they have got. They had a core for the last 4-5 years, like Narayan, Chakravarti, Venkatesh Iyer, Nitish Rana of the recent times.
Dinesh Karthik and Rinku Singh.
they had such good core players, and still they're doing really well. They won championship last year itself, and you look at RCB, man. They're every auction they keep changing team here and there. Okay, they'll keep
every other auction you look at them. No, every other auction, not just the mega auction, even the mini auctions, they have the highest purse, which should tell you something like how many. Like you need to have a good core players and retain them, groom them a little bit more better, and I don't know, man. Sometimes the auction strategies just confuse me. I don't understand for the life of me why did they not even go for a single bid for KL Rahul. Not even to buy him, but at least try to sabotage some other team. At least jack up the price a little more. I mean, Delhi just bought him for like 14 crores. It was a steal. I mean, even though it's a lot of money, but it's a steal. But again, man, listen, man.
It's a steal.
At the end of the day, no matter whatever the players they buy, no matter what the bowling attack is, no matter who the finishers and wicket keepers are, at the end of the day, the mantra is very simple. What can go wrong will go wrong. Whenever the spotlight is on them, they absolutely flop. They crumble under pressure. They go down, fall out like dominoes. Absolutely one of the worst teams in terms of playing in elimination games. Finals 2016 finals na solla thevilla. That's the worst thing that has happened to them. They were cruising in the final and then they lost to Sunrisers just like that. And then in 2011 mid-season got Gale. Steamrolled the rest of the season. Made it to the finals. Damper of a match against
Ajit. Or a small correction, sir. Speak in Tamil, bro. Your comedy sense in Tamil is much better, if I'm being honest. Speak in Tamil itself, bro. That's a comedy effect.
காமெடிலாம் இல்ல, நான் எந்த லாங்குவேஜ்ல சொன்னாலும் ஃபேக்ட் தான் காமெடி.
உன்னோட திறம், உன்னோட ஸ்டைல் மாதிரி சொல்லடா. யுவர் ஸ்டைல் இஸ் சோ குட். நான் தமிழே பேசுறா.
இல்லடா, இது எப்படி சொல்றது, லைக் whenever the chances they had, and that's the thing, man. அவங்க வந்து வருஷம் வந்து they are always in contention for the playoffs. அதுதான் வந்து ஒரு it's more of a depressing part for especially for someone like Virat Kohli, who எனக்கு வந்துட்டு அவன் IPL ஜெயிக்கணும்னு எனக்கு ஆசை. அது I'm honest with that. I'm not joking. It's not just for me but for everybody. Everybody wants to see Virat Kohli win the IPL. But see, man, management changes எல்லாம் நடந்திருக்கு. They keep changing players. They're just trying to build it around Virat Kohli, and that is always a problem as well. Virat Kohli irka varaikum வந்து you need to develop a team to win for a title. But the problem is that you just finish a mega auction. So again வந்துட்டு you have to let the core gel up. You have to keep make sure that you retain this set of players at least up until the next mega auction. But again, man, அது என்னன்னா, and also I have to point this out, man. எப்பலாம் வந்துட்டு இந்த மாதிரி நான் எக்ஸாம்பிளே சொல்றேன் பாரு, கிளாசனு, மொயின் அலி, ஷேன் வாட்சன், ஃபியூ எக்ஸாம்பிள்ஸ். அதுக்கப்புறம் சிவம் துபே, இவங்க எல்லாரும் வந்துட்டு RCBக்கு வருவானுங்கடா, படி கேவலமா ஆடுவானுங்கன்னு அவங்க சொல்லுவாங்க. சான்ஸும் கொடுக்க மாட்டானுங்க ஒழுங்கா, ஏதாவது ஆசை கட்டி மோசம் பண்ணிடுவானுங்க. கடைசியில பார்த்தா வேற டீமுக்கு போனானுங்கன்னா இதை விட டபுள் ட்ரிபிளோ சூப்பரா பண்ணுவானுங்க. இதுக்கு பேர் தான் கார்டேஷியன் கர்ஸ். கார்டேஷியன் கர்ஸோட ரிவர்ஸ் எஃபெக்ட் இது. ஐ ஆல்ரெடி செட் இன் a different வீடியோ. இது வந்து கார்டேஷியன் கர்ஸோட ரிவர்ஸ் எஃபெக்ட். RCBல இருந்து வெளில வந்ததுக்கு அப்புறம் இவனுங்க வந்து இன்னும் நல்லா ஆடுவானுங்க. கார்டேஷியன் கர்ஸ் தான் வந்துட்டு அவங்க ஒருத்தவன் வந்து வாழ்க்கையை நல்லா போறது ஓன்னு எனக்கு ஒரு செலிபிரிட்டிக்கு வந்துட்டு நான் எல்லாம் அச்சீவ் பண்ணிட்டேன், நான் சக்சஸ்ஃபுல்லா பில்லியனர், மல்டி பில்லியனர் எல்லாம் நினைச்சிருப்பாங்க. அப்படியே வந்து ஒரு கார்டேஷியன் வந்து அவங்களுக்கு கேர்ள் ஃப்ரெண்டா வருவானுங்க, அவங்க வாழ்க்கையே சீரழிஞ்சு நாசமா போயிடும். இதுதான் இந்த ரிவர்ஸ் எஃபெக்ட். RCBல வந்ததும் உங்க வாழ்க்கையே சீரழிஞ்சு நாசமா போற மாதிரி தான் இருக்கும். வேற எங்கேயாவது ஒரு டீமுக்கு போவானுங்க, அப்பாடி ஒழிஞ்சிருந்தா அந்த சனி முடிச்சது, ஒழிஞ்சிருந்தா அந்த சூனியம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு எல்லாம் போவானுங்க. காட்சியில பார்த்தா எனையாடா விடுற நீ, எனையாட ஆசை கட்டி மோசம் பண்றிய நீ, வெட்டி ஏத்துன்னு ஏத்துற. அதான் அந்த 287 அடிக்கும் போது கிளாசன் ஒருத்தரையும் அடிக்கும் போதெல்லாம் எனக்கு அதுதான் டைலாக் கேட்கும், எனையாட விடுற நீ வாடி, உனைய மொத்தம் போறேன்னா இல்லையா பாரு. இது கிளாஸ்னா அதான் சொல்லிட்டு இருப்பான், ஹெட் அதான் டிராவிஸ் ஹெட் ரொம்ப குஷி அடின்னு அடிச்சுட்டு இருந்தான். எனக்கே அதை பார்க்கவே ஆஹா ரொம்ப நல்லா இருக்கு. இவங்க போலிங் அட்டாக் ஒண்ணு எடுத்தானுங்க பாரு, அல்சாரி ஜோசப், லாக்கி ஃபெர்குசன், கேமரன் கிரீன், என்ன ஐயோ. அது வந்து
சீகா சொல்ல மாதிரி அந்த அல்சாரி ஜோசப் இஸ் ஸ்விம்மிங் ஃப்ரம் தி கரேபியன், ஸ்விம்மிங் போட்டிங் வருவாங்க.
நீ அவ்வளவு காசு கொடுக்குற, நீ 12 கோடி கொடுக்குற, அதுல வச்சுலாம் ஃபிளைட் டிக்கெட்டுக்குலாம் செலவு பண்ணக்கூடாது, காசு வீணா போயிடும். நான் நீச்சல் வச்சுட்டே வரேன், எனக்கு அட்லீஸ்ட் அதுல கொஞ்சம் காசாவது மிச்சம் வரும். அதுதான்டா தட்ஸ் தி திங். அது நான் இன்னும் சொல்றேன்டா, நீ இதுவும் சொல்லணும். சிஎஸ்கே அடிச்சதுக்கு வந்துட்டு என்ன ஆட்டம், ஒரே செலிப்ரேஷன் ஓவரா டீம் ட்ரெஸ்ஸிங் ரூம்ல நடக்கிறதெல்லாம் போட்டேன்னா அந்த சீக்கா சொன்ன மாதிரி ஓவரா அவுத்து விட்டுருந்தா அப்படிதான் ஆகும். ஆப்பு கன்ஃபார்ம்னு ஆப்பு அதே மாதிரிதான் வந்தது. ஓவரா ட்ரெஸ்ஸிங் ரூம்ல நடக்கிறதெல்லாம் சும்மா வந்து பப்ளிக்கு எல்லாம் காட்ட வேண்டியது. இதே மாதிரி ஜெயிச்சதுக்கு அப்புறம் பாரு பப்ளிக் என்ன நியூசன்ஸ் கேஸ் ஏகப்பட்ட டிஸ்டர்பன்ஸ் எல்லாம் இது உண்டாக்குனாங்க. என்னமோ கப்பே அடிச்சு ஜெயிச்சா மாதிரி இது பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தானுங்க. அதான் ராஜஸ்தான் கிட்ட கோட்டை விட்டுட்டு அதை எலிமினேட்டர்ல போயிட்டாருங்க. நீங்க என்னமோ ஜெயிச்சு பிளே ஆஃப் தான் வந்தீங்க, நீங்க ஒன்னும் டாப் 2லாம் இல்ல, 4th பிளேஸ்ல ஏதோ நெட் ரன் ரேட்ல உள்ள வந்த, அதை வச்சுக்கிட்டு ஓவரா சீனை விட வேண்டியது. கடைசியில பாரு சிஎஸ்கேக்கும் ஆர்சிபிக்கும் அதேதான் வித்தியாசம். ஆர்சிபி பிளேட் 1 more கேம் எக்ஸ்ட்ரா, அவ்வளவுதான். சிஎஸ்கேவும் சரி ஆர்சிபி சரி 2 பேரும் வெக்கேஷன் போற கேஸ் தான். இவங்க சிஎஸ்கே ஹெட் ஸ்டார்ட் எடுத்தாங்க, அவ்வளவுதான் வித்தியாசம். இந்த மாதிரி சிச்சுவேஷன்ல இருந்துலாம் ப்ரோ மும்பை இந்தியன்ஸ் லாஸ்ட் first 5 or 6 games in 2015. They went on to win the title. CSK same thing in 2010 when they won the first ever IPL title. They were like a very bad situation around somewhere around 6th or 7th out of 8th place. From there they won.
They were 2 out of 5 games. Out of 7 games, they won only 2.
Exactly. First 7 games CSK just won 2, and they went on to win the title. 2010 that epic run chase in Dharamshala, the way Dhoni hit that final touches. அந்த மாதிரி சிச்சுவேஷன்ல இருந்துலாம் கப்பல் அடிச்சிருக்கானுங்க. என்னைக்காவது நீ வந்துட்டு மும்பை இந்தியன்ஸ் மாணவ, I'll ask you this bro. In 2015 Mumbai Indians won the title. Did you see any celebrations as bad as what RCB did?
No, I didn't. The only time I saw celebration was when they qualified in 2014.
ஓகே, அட்லீஸ்ட் அது மிராக்குலஸ் ஒன், அது ஒத்துக்கிறேன் நானு. தட் நோபடி எக்ஸ்பெக்டட், அது ஃபைன். இந்த மாதிரிலாம் ஒண்ணுமே ஜெயிக்காததுக்கெல்லாம் வந்துட்டு என்ன வந்து கூத்து, எனக்கு அதுதான் புரியவே இல்ல. இத பார்த்தா அதுக்கு கூடவே ஒருத்தர் சுத்திக்கிட்டு இருக்கான் நாக்ஸ். நான் பல தடவை சொல்லிக்கிட்டு இருக்கேன், அவனை பேசாம ஒழிச்சு கட்டியிருந்தாலே, அவன் கலாய்க்காம இருந்தாலே நீங்க உருப்பிட ஆரம்பிப்பீங்க. பாதி வாயிலேயே 50% ப்ராப்ளமே அவனாலதான். எதை கேட்டா கலாய்க்க, சொந்த டீமுக்கே சூனியம் வைக்க வேண்டியது, இதுக்கோசரமே வந்துட்டு அவனுக்கு சம்பளம் கொடுக்க வேண்டியது, கர்மாந்திரம் குடிச்சது. பேசா அவனே ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணாலே சம்பாதிக்கிறான், நீ எதுக்கு தேவையில்லாம அவனை வச்சு.
It's not Royal Challengers Bangalore. It's the Royal Content Bangalore. Content team. ஒண்ணுமே
இல்ல, கிளவுட், வெறும் கிளவுட். நாங்க தான் தோக்குறோம், எங்களுக்கும் தெரியும், நாங்களே அசிங்கப்படுத்திக்கிறோம் அப்படின்னு தான். டேய், இந்த மாதிரி எல்லாம் பண்ண கூடாதுடா. இது சூனியம் வைக்கிறது, உங்களுக்குனே நீங்க சூனியம் வைக்கிறீங்க. This is a play, this is not just my birthday party, this is a play off party அப்படின்னு அவன் பக்கத்துல வந்துட்டு நீ 4 மேட்ச் தோத்துட்டு நீ என்ன பேசுற பேச்சாதுன்னு அவன் சொல்றான். அதுக்கப்புறம் பார்த்தா எலிமினேட்டர்ல தோக்குறான் அவன். இத பார்த்தா அதுக்கு 5 ரூபா சிஎஸ்கே என்னது 4 மேட்ச் வரிசையா தோத்ததுக்கு வந்துட்டு சோசியல் மீடியால வந்து கலாய்க்க வேண்டியது. என்ன இது, ஒரு சாம்பியன் டீம் the first time they miss the playoffs. ஓவராலா இந்த மாதிரி எல்லாம் வந்துட்டு கலாய்க்க கூடாது, இதெல்லாம் ஒரு அளவு உண்டு. இதுக்கெல்லாம் சும்மா வந்துட்டு இல்ல. நான் ஒண்ணு உருப்படியா ஒண்ணு சொல்லிட்டா, ஃபர்ஸ்ட் நீ மிஸ்டர் நாக்ஸா வந்து ஒழிச்சு கட்டு, அது ஒண்ணு பண்ணு. இல்ல நான் ஒழிச்சு கட்ட மாட்டேன் அப்படின்னா நீ பெங்களூர் விட்டே ஓடி போயிடு. நான் சொல்றேன், ராயல் சேலஞ்சர்ஸ் பெங்களூருக்கு பதில ராயல் சேலஞ்சர்ஸ் கொச்சின்னு இல்ல வேற எங்கேயாவது ஊருக்கு போயிடு. நீங்க அங்கெல்லாம் நீ இருந்தனாலே அப்படிதான். எல்லாம் சும்மா ஜனங்கெல்லாம் உண்மையிலே சொல்றேன், பாவம் தான், அந்த ஃபேன்ஸ் தான், ஒத்துக்கிறேன் நான். அவங்களுக்கோசரம் ஜெயிக்கணும், ஒரு நல்ல என்ன சொல்றது, ஒரு டீம் ஃபார்ம் பண்ணி லைக் யூ ஷுட் டூ சம்திங், அதெல்லாம் இருக்கு. ஆனா இந்த மாதிரி எல்லாம் பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தா வேலைக்கே ஆகாது. வேற ஊருக்கு எங்கேயாவது போய் நீ பண்ண அட்லீஸ்ட் கொஞ்சமாவது வந்து அந்த சனி அந்த சூனியம் பெங்களூர்ல இருந்த அந்த சூனியத்துக்கு எல்லாம் ஒழிச்சு கட்டிட்டு நான் வேற எங்கேயாவது போனனாலும் எதுவும் உருப்பட ஆரம்பிப்பா, அட்லீஸ்ட் ஃப்ரெஷ் ஸ்டார்டா வரும். நீ அது ஒண்ணு மேக்ஸ தூக்கு, இல்ல நீ வேற ஊர்ல போய் விளையாடு, பிரான்சைஸ வந்து வேற எங்கேயாவது வச்சுக்கோ, டீமே மாத்திடு, அவ்வளவுதான். அதுதான் நான் சொல்ல முடியும். ஆனா இதே மாதிரி பண்ணுவானுங்க, ஓவர்சீஸ் பிளேயர்ஸ் மேல காசு மேல காசு போட்டுட்டே இருப்பானுங்க. இவங்க வந்து ஸ்டார் பிளேயர்ஸ் வேணும் அப்படின்னு. அட்லீஸ்ட் இந்த சீசன் நல்லா, அட்லீஸ்ட் இந்த ஆக்ஷன் நல்லா பண்ணிருக்காங்க, ஒத்துக்கிறேன், ஃபைன், ஐ அக்ரி வித் தட், பட் டசன்ட் மேட்டர், தே வில் ஸ்டில் நாட் வின். So if you want my ratings or whether they qualify for the playoffs or not, doesn't matter, they'll still flop anyway, whether they make the playoffs or whether they don't. பயங்கரமா சொதப்ப போறானுங்க, எப்பவும் போல கோட்டை விடுவானுங்க. பட் நான் சீரியஸா வந்துட்டு ஒரு ரேட்டிங் கொடுக்கணும்னா, ஓவரால் their team is solid, 7.5 out of 10. Will they make the playoffs? No. No. தெரியாதனால no.
So my final team would be Gujarat Titans. So I'll go with Gujarat Titans as the 4th team. Whereas with Ajit giving a huge rant and whole a bit of a sketch of comedy piece.
What happened to RCB win? What did you do that time?
I'll be happy for Virat Kohli. Why not?
We all will be happy for Virat Kohli and we will ask him to do a work at Tirupati. Simple as that.
No. If RCB win, the government will put a public holiday on that. On this day, RCB won the first title. And the Mari Peria article varum.
ICC themselves put a holiday. ICC themselves put up a holiday.
நான் ஜெயிச்சா ஹாப்பி தான் விராட் கோலிக்கு ஃபைனலி ஹில் win his first IPL. That's the only thing that's been eluding from him. He won the T20 World Cup, he won the ODI World Cup as a player and then won Champions Trophy. White ball he has achieved almost everything except for IPL. So if he wins IPL, I'll be happy. But again,
personally I will be happy that Kohli will win. Holiday, why you are saying the government will give? ICC will make everyone get holidays in the world.
Bro, macha, நீ லாஸ்ட் இயர் பாத்திருக்க சென்னை கூட ஜெயிச்சிருக்கான். பெரிய celebration da. Because of celebration. Imagine they win the IPL, man. It would be triple the celebration they're getting. I'm
telling you, celebration. Curfew in Karnataka itself. No one will go. Exactly. That 144. Celebration. Yeah. Everyone will be at home doing nothing. That's the thing. Celebrations and all. Holidays in Bengaluru.
Exactly.
இன்னொன்னு நான் சொல்றேன்டா. இந்த எஸ்டே வந்துட்டு ஒரு ஸ்டோரி போட்டா அப்படியே வந்துட்டு தோனி அவுட் ஆக்டன்னு பேரு சும்மா திருப்பி காமிச்சிருக்கான். என்ன சார் குளிர் ஜோரை விட்டு போச்சா, திரும்பி ரிங்கு சிங் அனுப்பிச்சுட்டு வந்து அடிக்க சொல்லிட்டா ஏன் எதுக்கு?
I feel power for Virat Kohli. I always say this. I've told this to Ajit a lot of times. I feel Virat Kohli should go to some other team and win the IPL. Why does he need to stay for RCB just for loyalty's sake?
நீ ரோஹித் சர்மா, நான் இதுவும் சொல்லிடுறேன், நீ ரோஹித் சர்மாவே கொண்டு வந்தாலும் ஜெயிக்க மாட்டாங்க. அதனால கோலி வேற எங்கேயாவது போனாதான் பெட்டர்.
அதான்டா. I mean, I know he'll not go because he loves the franchise so much that he'll stay. But bro, come on, if you want to win an IPL, you cannot win in RCB, bro. Go to some other franchise, man. Go to Mumbai Indians or CSK, man. Those are two places.
Mumbai Indians. Go. You still have a player like Rohit Sharma who's torturing everyone there. Why? Go.
Macha, at least chance irkoda. And Ambani money, they'll get more and more profit.
You ask him to go and join KKR. There's Shah Rukh Khan there. Kohli can do reels with Shah Rukh Khan, make movies with Shah Rukh Khan as well. His wife has also been.
To be frank, KKR were also in that row on the direction la dhaan point vandanga cloud kosarame. The first 3 seasons of KKR history, their main star attraction was Shah Rukh Khan, but their team was shit. ஒண்ணுமே பண்ணல.
That's true.
Then they completely changed the structure of the team and they got Gambhir. Leadership வந்தது. That was when Shah Rukh Khan was not the focal point of the brand ambassadors. In the first few seasons, if you look at IPL, brand ambassadors were the main attractions. Then slowly later on, teams have figured out and they should be like they should do well.
KKR சொல்லும்போது they got players like Ganguly, McCallum, Chris Gale,
all who have played for RCB, man. Go, man.
Shoaib Akhtar.
Umar Gol vera. My God, what kind of player
again? KKR at least did the right thing and being sensible, like okay, they should.
Even Dinesh Karthik played for KKR as well. Before
later only Dinesh Karthik.
அப்படி பார்த்தா கேலிஸ் கூட தான் ஆடிந்தான். அதான் சொல்றேன், ஆர்சிபில கேலிஸ் நான் டீசெண்டா தான் ஆடிந்தான். கேகேஆருக்கு வந்ததும் சாம்பியன் ஆயிட்டான். அதான் நான் சொல்றேன் நான்.
Simple as that. Yeah.
அதுதான் இந்த கார்டேஷியன் கர்ஸோட ரிவர்ஸ் எஃபெக்ட் தான். அதுதான் ஆர்சிபில இருந்து வெளில வந்தேன்னா உனக்கு இன்னும் பெரிய சக்சஸ் இருக்கும். ஒளிமயமான வாழ்க்கையை நான் திரும்பி உனக்கு காட்டுறேன். உள்ளத்தில், மெல்லத்தில், கன்னத்தில் எல்லாத்தையும் காட்டுறேன்.
But 2 players defied that. One is KL Rahul, the other is Devdutt Padikkal.
Shivam Dube, Heinrich Klaasen, Moeen Ali, Shane Watson.
There's 99.5% the reverse Kardashian effect has really taken full toll. But the direct Kardashian effect,
Quinton de Kock suffering in RCB, then becoming an IPL champion for Mumbai Indians. Manav can attest to that.
Then later suffering under Lucknow.
Lucknow would parallel at least an expansion team, but by the time he reached Lucknow, he was already a champion, so that doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I'm done, bro. எனக்கு இதுக்கு மேல இப்போ ஆக்ஷன் முடிஞ்சு ரொம்ப நாள் ஆச்சு. ஆனாலும் இப்ப இப்படி இருக்கு. சீசன் வரும்போது நான் என்ன சொல்ல போறேன்னு தெரியல. I'll save it for that இப்போதைக்கு போறோம்.
Okay, I'll ask you one question to all of you. Since we have finished off this IPL auction, give me two unsold players that should have been bought in IPL where you were shocked that they went unsold or their teams could have gone for them. Give me two. Each of you can give me two of the unsold players. I'll start
I
with
think-
Pranav.
I think I have so many players in my mind, man. I really have so many players who could have, been bought, who could have been sold. Many of them are overseas players. But there are three players. The third one, I do not. Is a debatable one, but still, that player has done really well in the past and has now proven themselves again as well recently. But three players, or in fact four as well. I'll keep it four.
Okay.
Three of them played for one franchise at one point in their time: David Warner, Johnny Bairstow, Kane Williamson, and my fourth one is Shardul Thakur. But if I say two players, it's going to be Warner and Bairstow. Painful. It's really, really painful. It was a disservice, seriously, especially for a player.
They were the top three for us for SRH, where 4-5
Top
years
three
back.
for RCB, not
For
RCB,
SRH only have, yeah.
SRH as well. Kane Williamson was also one of that players for SRH. One of the top players for SRH for so many years. Shardul Thakur, of course, his form tailed off, but for CSK, he was still one of his best ones. One of their most memorable players for CSK. And that
So hero of
2018 when they, yeah, I mean BGT as well, of course. I feel, and now he's recently coming back into form again after so much, after that pain of having not gotten the IPL leader. He is slowly coming back again because a long injury layoff has kind of made him lose his form, actually speaking. Otherwise, if he had not been injured, he would have been doing so many things, man, seriously, from 21-22 onwards. So that was also very painful. There's so many players that should have been sold, like Finn Allen, Shai Hope, Shrikar Bharat, Alex Carey, and so on and so on. But David Warner's was perhaps the most upsetting one for me. That man, at least, even if you had spent 2 crores on him, also that was fine, man. At least he could have gone into a team, man. Seriously, that guy is an all-time great in IPL. One of the best. He should have gone sold at least.
Yeah. Okay. Manav, your two players.
I think for me it would be probably Shivam Mavi. I think would have I think it should be Shivam Mavi, one of them, because I felt Shivam Mavi could have done something in some of the teams. He's one of those players.
பூமி போடுற பவுலர்னு கலாய்ச்சிக்கிட்டே இருந்தா அப்படித்தான் ஆகும். வேற வேலையில வாய வச்சுன்னு சும்மா இருக்கணும். Go ahead. I just want to point that out. Go ahead. Sorry, man.
Yeah. One is Shivam Mavi, I would say. Another, I think Steve Smith was doing well in the international leagues. I think maybe if he would have got a chance, he would have also done well for some IPL team. Steve Smith is the second player, I would say.
It was MLC, I think, for Washington Freedom when they won the MLC, I think, for Washington with Ricky Ponting. Steve Smith was doing well.
Yeah, there were
strong rumors for me.
Strong rumors of him being the captain also for Punjab Kings.
Steve Smith, yeah. So, what you want me to give my players
go.
now?
Give two players.
Yeah. So I thought that it's not just one player in general, but I think zero Bangladeshi players have been picked in this IPL, which I don't know. It was a kind of a shocker in my opinion because I thought someone like Mustafizur should have been bought. Shakib Al Hasan, I don't know why he wasn't bought. Mehdi Hasan Miraj, I don't know why he wasn't bought. It was a bit surprising. He's actually a very talented cricketer who can bowl so well and is a good batsman as well. He's a match winner for Bangladesh in the recent times in white ball. I don't know why they didn't pick any Bangladesh players. I'll go. Actually, Naveen ul Haq not being picked was also a surprise. I thought that Naveen ul Haq should have been picked. So that's one player in my mind I have because he's done very well for LSG and I think he should have been picked. Then another player who I would say is Johnny Bairstow, been rightfully mentioned by Pranav because David Warner going unsold was kind of predicted because for Delhi they expected David Warner to pretty much be the guy carrying them into decent position. But again, when David Warner was dropped and then they put Jake Fraser McGurk and then they had Abhishek Porel as an opening partner instead of Prithvi Shaw, who by the way also got unsold. Prithvi Shaw, that is. Even that was also not a surprise. But I think that's where when they got in Jake Fraser McGurk and Porel as an opening combination and they started to do well once they dropped David Warner. I thought that was right. Written down it was given in the writing that because once David Warner basically said that he's retired, he's going away. I think a team like Punjab should have also picked David Warner, irrespective of whether he gives the leadership role. They don't have another good opening batter, so at least as a opening batsman, he can contribute. He doesn't need to be a captain. Shreyas Iyer will be the captain for Punjab, but I think someone like a David Warner or maybe someone like an Alex Carey also. But I think the two players who I thought that was so surprisingly that they didn't pick they didn't go for these players are Naveen Ulak and David Warner, because Naveen Ulhaq is a very skillful bowler who bowled that match-winning spell for Afghanistan for them to qualify for the semi-finals alongside Rashid Khan, who he picked 4 wickets along with Rashid Khan also, who picked up a 4 in that match against Bangladesh. So I thought Naveen Ulhaq should have been picked by someone, especially with the way he can bowl in the death overs. He's very skilled. So yeah, those are the two players who I thought that who were shockingly who went unsold. Shardul Thakur also we can say, but nah, Shardul Thakur going unsold was not a surprise in my opinion.
I think I'll go for a couple of the players. I think first player has to be Johnny Bairstow, because I feel, especially in of course, the last 1 year hasn't been that easy for him, especially with his injuries, and his form also hasn't been that great. But one thing I like to mention, the 263 runs, the record chase that he has, that Punjab Kings has mentioned, Johnny Bairstow was the key architect of the run chase. He can give you opening, he can give you middle order. He's a very versatile player. He can play spin really well. I would say Johnny Bairstow, he has to be there. And number two, I would say, would be David Warner. I think all of you guys have mentioned, even though Anjit has said that, okay, David Warner has declined a lot, but I still feel someone like him, especially teams like Punjab or Lucknow Super Giants who don't have an opener, they could have got him. They could have got David Warner for that, the base price. They got to utilize his services because he's your 400, 450 guaranteed, and he's very adaptable. He can adapt in different surfaces. So he's one of them. And the another, if I like to mention two, I would say Mustafizur Rahman, because he is done really well in the last season for CSK. Picked up like 13, 14, 15 wickets. He could have been useful in certain conditions. He could have been there. And the last one I like to mention is Mehdi Hassan Miraj, because that kid is a damn cricket. He's a super cricketer, probably the best cricketer for Bangladesh at this point in time. He's recently he captained Bangladesh cricket team in the Test match format. So someone like him who could have been a very useful backup for certain teams, I feel, and teams not valuing such cricketers. I feel very bad for them, because they are very versatile. He can bat in any position, and he can bowl you in different phases. So I feel such players like him are very rare in commodity. But with that being said, I think it is a very high PR is required for Mehdi Hassan Miraj. True. But with that being said, we like to end this video. It's a very long podcast we have done. I mean, there are a lot of players out there, a lot of players like Piyush Chawla, Mahinda Daga, Safraz Khan. But at some point or the other, the franchise has started to look into future. They were looking into younger players. So, as you all know, Prithvi Shaw's case is a big case with him being unsold. But as we all know, if you're not working hard, if you're not being up to the mark in the trend, you can't. The franchises are not going to pick you. But with that being said, it's a very long and very entertaining auctions, and a lot of reviews we have done. Especially the last, especially this video, we had a lot of trolling with Ajit going full rant on RCB, with Pranav Reddy giving his full out, giving his heart out for his song.
Even though the auction ended like 3-4 weeks ago, I mean, we had a bit of conflicts in our schedule, so we tried to manage to put out videos as early as we could have, although it went too long for us to review all the teams, but we managed to finish it. So it's been pretty successful review, I would say, even though it took way too long for us to finish. But I mean, we are at the finish line, so it's been a huge success, I would say.
Yes, it is a huge success. And with that being said, we did 3 parts in that. Make sure you watch those first 2 parts. And with this video, it's going to come out in a couple of days' time. And I would like to thank to the panelist, Manav Gupta, who this is his 3rd video coming with the channel. Thank you so much, Manav Gupta, for coming in. Hopefully, we'll have you on for future podcasts. Pranav Reddy, as usual, giving your insights and your distracts. Hopefully, you will give us more and more entertainment. And as usual, Jit, the partner in crime in these podcasts, who gives his comedy effects and all that stuff. So with that being said, I'd like to thank everybody who has tuned in for this whole series of this IPL auction review. And next week we're going to talk about this Border Gavaskar Trophy, which is a delayed video that all of us want to talk about. But make sure that tune into that video as well. But with that being said, thank you so much for tuning into this whole series. With that being said, please like, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel. With that being said, take care, bye bye.